Hello, Beans. How are you all today? We have no lefty audio at the beginning of stream. That's always good. We don't want any shenanigans today. How are you? Are you behaving? Are you doing well this Pride Month? Let me get all my stuff ready. Ready and open. Hello, everyone. Get all my links, get all my feeds, get all my chats. If you didn't know, there is a this chat over here, which is this is my website chat. So if you are on the YouTube page currently, you're welcome to jump over here to the website chat. God dang, that outfit slaps. Why, thank you. This is a dress. It's quite nice. Anyone else not getting music? There was no music? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Okay, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. I made some changes to my audio this week, and I just didn't realize that I was going to need to make some adjustments in the thing. I apologize. I didn't notice that. Anyway, hello, everyone. What's up, YouTube chat? Dendrite, Gozer, Pydradig, Speedy Shimeji, Jamie, hello. LMO, your first comment going live is no lefty audio. Yeah. I guess I associate lefty audio with being like my microphone is being jank and not the music simply did not play. But yeah, I know why it fucked up. Yeah, but what's up, Shade? Hello, Gayfish. There's Diaphala. We got Violet. There's Corpse Candy. Hello, Baphomet. Oh, hit 74 on my Rogue. Nice. Hell yes. Yeah, cause I just messed up like how I have my headphones versus my computer. And it's possible the music was playing, but it was just super quiet. I don't know. Anyway, we got a full show today. We're still gonna do, you know, probably 45 minutes at least of chill hangout time at the beginning of the stream, because we deserve a break momentarily. So we're gonna do that, and then we've got like 4 news segments, and then after our news segments, we do have like a fun video to decompress because a lot of the news is shite today. We have Elon Musk saying that he's going to start lobbying to have trans-affirming doctors who help children be criminalized, and that's not great. So that's a bad thing that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about how this, obviously the title, like trans public speaker was canceled under the purview of a drag ban. The drag ban hasn't even gone into law yet. And an explosion in France, or no, not an actual explosion, but a homemade bomb that was attempted to be used by a 17-year-old against an LGBT center in France. And I can't remember the 4th thing. Oh, I guess the 4th thing is not like terrible bad news, but we are going to talk about this trans woman who you may have seen on Twitter. Her name is Kelly Cadigan, and I've been seeing her popping up more and more on my feed the last month or two, being like really right-wing grift BS, and now she allegedly is acknowledging that she has been grifting and is going to start like getting away from that, which would be great. And then the last thing that we're going to do today is a video of a cis guy getting into drag, which is always fun. You know, when you get a big beard guy and a big beard guy gets dragged up by a local queen situation. We've watched a video like that before on the channel. We watched Ethan from the channel formerly known as Crank Gameplays get put in drag, and that was just delightful. So I figured we could try it again and enjoy. What's up, Squisher King and Madam? Yes, from technical difficulties, Chris. Yes, Tom Scott's podcast with his buddies. You got it, y'all. Can we send Elon to Mars in one of his rockets by himself as a treat? I have been so good. These people really, these people seem really interested in learning some of the flavor complexities of lead pellets. Some of her statements are still shit, but she seems sincere. Yeah, agreed. Right, yeah. She definitely is a work in progress as a human being. That's okay. We are all works in progress as human beings. She said she still doesn't get the whole non-binary thing, but that she wants to understand. So I appreciate that about her. She seems to have sincerely changed her mind. Yeah, it's really interesting scrolling through her Twitter for the last month. But we'll get to that, okay? We'll get to that, y'all. 28 viewers. We're here to hang out. We're here to vibe. We're here to relax for a little while before we actually get into the news. So if you want to hang out for that, hit like. If you don't want to hang out, hit like before you leave. So, yeah, I am having a pretty okay Pride so far. I'm here only for the vibe period. Yes. We appreciate you, Baphomet. Thanks for hanging out. So, yeah, we are, I'm having a pretty good Pride so far. I have hung out with my partner a bit this month, and I have a house guest. My younger sibling is hanging out with me currently, and that's been pretty great so far. Happy Pride, trans rights. Thank you, Rotsoy. Yeah, absolutely. I'm depressed and having an episode. Is Mercury in Gatorade right now? Like, what is the deal with the past couple of months? You know, my partner and I both have been feeling pretty rough throughout May. And, like, I kind of feel like I'm starting to feel somewhat better in the sense that I am better able to get some things accomplished. You know, I've caught up on dishes a bit. I'm super behind in my editing, though. And I'm at that point where I'm asking myself if I should just kind of skip some of the content in order to catch up to the most recent stuff that I need to have edited, you know, like more pressing recent news, or if I should just buckle down and do all of it and then have a bunch of content to release. It's just struggle, such a struggle. You like in Gatorade? Yeah. Not a Luxander original, I will say. What's up, Gozer? Welcome to the website chat. Thank you so much for jumping over. New COVID strain just dropped. New COVID strains are dropping all the time. It's so different now. Like, the newest strains are so different from when it was first discovered that some epidemiologists have started calling it SARS-CoV-3. So that should terrify you. If Mercury's in your Gatorade, you won't be feeling anything soon. Truly. I got the mushroom. Nice, nice. Yes, I had not checked up on the tracking on that. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you have received your gift of mushroom. I got so much yarn. I have the ability to make mushrooms. I just haven't really cracked on it. So yeah, if you're interested in buying a mushroom, or rather, really more realistically, it's like you're gonna donate, and then I will send you a mushroom as a gift. But I have trans flag colors now. So tell me if you're interested in that, so that I don't make them and then they are just going to sit around my place, because I want to send them out into the world. One of my favorite bands had a show in Tennessee and billed it as a drag night with the fans. They did the whole show in drag outfits to protest the drag ban there. Yeah, so actually we do have, I did not put that in my notes, but there is a, they actually defeated that drag ban in court. It has been declared unconstitutional. So there is no drag ban in Tennessee, which is great. Yay! I missed the mushroom context, but I love them and would definitely be interested. Yeah, I made a mushroom out of crochet. We did it, Reddit, yeah. Andy's, how dare you be late? How dare you be even 10 minutes late, which is what you currently are. Horties are on time. That's not true. Jesus Christ. I have ADHD so hard. Shade sends that they sent a picture. Picture. Ah, yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I took a couple pictures myself, but I don't have them on hand currently. What is up, Mersh? Hello. Yes, thank you, Andes, for liking the stream. How much do you want for handmade mushroom? I made one that was about yay tall, and that one I gave away for $30. I think that's probably fine. I paid for the shipping, so it was like, turns out like basically I made $25 off of it. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I have some even smaller stuff. I don't know where the rest of it went, but I have even smaller yarn stuff that I can use to make mushroom. This would be more like an earring, though. This would probably... Well, I guess it could be earring size or maybe necklace size, and those would be significantly more expensive because of how small they are. But yes. How should I message you my info? So, I don't want to take any donations for mushrooms until I have them made. So now that I know that there's some interest, I'll go ahead and make a couple. And then, I'll go from there. I need to talk to Violet and see if she'll help me set up like a WordPress or something. But as of now, I'm basically just kind of doing like a, this is for sale on stream. The first person who sends me PayPal and gives me your address on PayPal, you're the first one to get it, kind of thing. Almost like eBay style. Yes, thank you so much, NB Ghosty. I guess that's a great way to drive viewership on the streams, is like, if you want to buy one of these things, you have to actually be present on stream. Oh, goodness gracious. Woke up just in time for the stream. Hell yes, absolutely. So crochet is a nice fun little thing that you can just sort of do while you're watching TV or anything. Still have to work on a schedule for that stuff. Okay, yeah, no worries. What is DF? Baphomet, what are you doing? Oh gosh. Is it unreasonably hot where you live, viewers, dear viewers? Is it unreasonably warm? Oh, Dwarf Fortress, I see. I would be careful about that kind of thing. It could be considered gambling. It's like a giveaway where you have to, it's not a bidding thing, it's just if you're first. I don't know. I guess that's an interesting... As long as you don't only show the mushrooms on weekday streams, yeah. Oh my god, Gayfesh. It's 59 degrees with an expected high of 69. Nice. Yeah, it's so hot here. It's so hot. It's warmer than usual, but not at the unbearable level. It's 100 degrees today. Oh my god, Squisher King. Limited stock isn't gambling, surely. Yeah, I'm not, like, taking bids or making you compete. Been sweating constantly the last few days. My air conditioner is just blasting all the time. I'm wondering if I, like, have no choice but to crack open my windows at night. 'Cause it's, like, not cooling down in here at night as much anymore, either. And it's in the fucking, like, 80s and 90s, which is crazy. Yeah, opening Magic the Gathering packs is gambling. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're not gambling for a chance to get the mushroom, to be clear. I would probably just go ahead and make more mushes for the people who... pass on the mushes for the people who, ordered one. Like, I'll just go ahead and make more at that point. But realistically, I should just, like, have a website where I can add stock to them. No rain in the past 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, that makes it so much worse. We've at least had a little bit of moisture here. It's a hard pass on pants kind of weather here. That's what I'm about. Look at, like, it's dress season, y'all. It's, like, I think this is a sundress, technically. I am, you know how I've been working out a bunch? And I specifically was trying to make my muscles bigger? Well, this, like, I took a picture, my profile picture right now on Twitter is, like, me in this dress. And, like, the thing is that I'm not even flexing, but my arms are, like, too big to be in this dress. Like, if I were to flex, which I'm not gonna do right now, 'cause... you haven't earned it yet. But there's like a tightness in the sleeves just from how big my arms are. And that's fun. That's fun progress. Yep. I have no idea what a sundress is compared to a regular dress. A dress is a dress is a dress. A sundress, so usually sundresses are knee length or maybe a little bit shorter. And usually they are short-sleeved, like relatively short-sleeved, or they're like a strappy top. And it's like sundress basically just means like something you would wear in the spring and summer, generally. Having larger biceps does make some women's shirts hard to wear sometimes. Yeah, but it's so fun. It's so enjoyable. Anyhow. It hasn't been raining here either, but the air is unreasonably humid. It's always so humid in the Midwest as well. I feel like 104 degrees felt okay when I was in, like, New Mexico, because it was so dry. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's warm, but it's not, like, muggy, so it's fine. Currently wearing a sundress feels awesome, like PJs. Oh, and it's a thin textile. Yeah, that's another good point, Diaphla. Like, I have a dress that is, like, relatively short, but it's a sweater, so it doesn't matter that it's, like, a short dress, because it's still a winter garment, for sure. Okay, Road Soy coming in with the official definition. Sorry, did you say something about the red flag warning? What about the red flag warning? What are you talking about? Like a drought warning? No, it's not what I was talking about. You should flex, tear small dress sleeves. Okay, so the first stream goal just says it's $69. So that should be, like, nice. You know? Well, people just paid rent. So I guess if we get to stream goal of $69 today, I'll flex for you. A sundress, or summer dress, is an informal or casual dress intended to be worn in warm weather, typically in a lightweight fabric, most commonly cotton, and usually loose-fitting. It's commonly a bodice-style sleeveless dress, typically with a wide neckline and thin shoulder straps, and maybe backless. A sundress is typically worn without a layering top and is usually not worn, usually worn over a blouse, sweater, or t-shirt, or with leggings. Lightweight fabric sounds better than thin textile. What the fuck would a moon dress be? I literally have a moon dress. I don't know if I love the cut of the top part anymore, but I literally have a moon dress. Oh boy. So, yeah, does anybody else have any fun news to share? I guess I don't really have a lot on my mind for this top segment. I'm excited about going on a trip next week. I'm gonna be taking off stream next Sunday because I'm going on my summertime barbecue that I usually go to. That's something I'm pretty excited about. So not only did I get my booster a couple weeks ago, but I got, I was hoping positive news because we're still in that opening segment. So I recently got my COVID booster. If you haven't gotten a COVID booster in a year, you definitely need one. But my pharmacy let me get one even though my last shot was less than a year ago. So that was cool. And so I got my COVID booster. But also, has anybody heard of this medicine, this nasal spray called Enovid? A moon dress is a fully backless dress. Oh my. Truly, truly. It's like that one picture of the dude with he's wearing like what looks like a tuxedo without the jacket. He's got like the pants and the white shirt and the bow tie, but then you can see the mirror behind him, and in the reflection, there's like, he's like ass is out. He's wearing a thong. So Enovid is a nasal spray that has been studied a little bit. It's been approved in like Israel, Indonesia, Germany, and Russia, and as an over-the-counter, and approved in India as an prescription. And it's supposed to, most of the studies that have been done on it are about reducing the viral load of COVID. I'm not entirely sure how that goes. Like, obviously, if it is an antimicrobial, it's going to have a reduced viral load in your nostrils kind of situation. So part of the testing that they're doing is seeing if it reduces your viral load and helps you get over COVID quicker, because that'll help your outcomes with long COVID. Like, higher viral load is associated with higher chance of long COVID complications. So most of the studies that have been done on it have been checking to see if it helps reduce your viral load. And it does reduce your viral load by quite a bit. But I haven't looked into like exactly how the testing and stuff is done. So it's like, if it's a nasal spray and it's an antimicrobial, then you'll have to like you'll have a reduced viral load in your nostrils. So it's like, I don't know if the testing is just because, okay, like you have a locally reduced amount, but maybe it wouldn't be in your entire body, you know, if they're taking like a nose or throat swab. Anyway, and the other way that it has been, one study was done with like 400 or 500 college students to see if it can function as a prophylactic. And so that's basically like checking to see if you use the spray and then you go into a high-risk situation, allegedly the placebo, the actual effective medicine versus the placebo, there was like a 75% less chance of ending up with COVID after being in the like high-risk situation, like going to a concert or being in an elevator or whatever. So I'm taking it as a prophylactic, and I've researched like each of the ingredients that are supposed to be in it, and each of the ingredients is supposed to be safe. It's like stuff that you will pretty much commonly find in other kinds of nasal sprays. And yeah, it's like nitric oxide nasal spray is what the general term of it is called. Approved for over-the-counter in Germany. Somehow I highly doubt that. I mean, that's what I read. I bought it from a pharmacy in Israel, but man, it's crazy how people duck out for the COVID talk. It's like, I'm trying to tell you about something that could actually protect you from COVID, but like I lose 10 people. Stupid. I didn't think I would end up down a dress rabbit hole this afternoon. Was not on the bingo card. Yeah, dresses are not on the bingo card. You have to be careful with high zinc content. I don't know if it has high zinc content. But regardless, I would rather have damaged smell from zinc than damaged smell from COVID-associated brain damage. Yes. Maybe, let me change the stream goal thing. Flex. I will flex if we get to $69. Nice! Okay. I have all of my notes already ready and everything. Like, I'm not even gonna need to do any additional prep where I'm, like, scrambling at the last minute to find my links, because I do that sometimes. If you haven't hit like, please consider hitting like. We are cozy time. We are having fun. We are enjoying each other's company. And we'll get into the news soon, because there's a good amount to talk about, and it's going to take us a while to trawl through it all. So, probably not going to do the full hour of chill time as we usually do. Sorry if you were looking forward to a full hour. Do you like my Pride cup? My Pride mug? Oh, and I also switched my earrings. I'm on Pride earrings now for the duration of the month. I still want that mug, yes. I love that your plants in the background move with the AC breeze. Yes. They aren't real plants, to be clear, these ones. I do have something close to 30 plants, but this one are plastic. But yeah, they be swaying. Do we like purple today? Is purple the vibe? I like yellow sometimes. Bitches love yellow. I don't know. Last time I was definitely like, yeah, purple is the vibe for celebrating Pride. Purple is always the vibe. I have to put up my trans flag I brought for the Pride merch yesterday on my wall. Yes! I have Pride flags on my walls. They're just not in view of the camera. We like purple? Yeah, that's pink. Pink is not what we want. We want purple. There we go. Everybody loves purple. Bitches love purple. And you're bitches, apparently. I'm also bitches. I love purple. Purple's one of my favorites. The strobe lights, absolutely. I have a couple of color change options. Like, I have the bisexual color change option. In my experience, it's a little bit too, like, flashy. And also the colors are not super bright now that I'm looking at it. It's, like, very subtle. Okay, now we're going around a little bit pinkish. It's just not very bright. Okay. Purple. I'm a green enjoyer. Okay, I got green. You love green? Bitches love green? That's nice. It's just eerie. It's just not good for film. Like, okay, this one's a little bit more of a teal color. Green is like unsettling. And so it's generally not considered a good idea to have it in your film stuff unless you want the audience to be unsettled. And I don't want you all to be unsettled, so let's stick with purple. Okay, if you're enjoying hanging out, hit the like button. We are about to get started on the news here momentarily. I have a good chunk of stuff that I'm ready to talk about today, and we're gonna end out with some good fun watching a cis guy with a huge beard get turned into a very much drag. I feel like the light could match the news vibe if you coded it. Yeah, I don't, it uses one of these, so I don't really think I can do much programming, but I could, like, think to myself, oh, what are we about to do? If we're about to cover some news from Florida, then maybe we should switch it to green, so that it's a more uncomfortable vibe. Do we have gay lights? I don't have any rainbow option. Wait, is this a rainbow option? Do I have that? I guess I do have a rainbow option, but it's gonna be, like, not as bright. I think that's gonna be the problem with it. It also bothers me. Okay, I don't know if any of you watch Xander Hall, but if you watch Xander Hall's videos on his channel instead of his streams, like, when you edit it, the color is jumping from one to the next. So it's a great vibe while you're actively streaming. I just personally am kind of bothered by the jumping, and I don't think that that's what I would like. Programming is just telling machines to do what you want to. I don't know how I would do that. I love Zan's lighting. Yeah, so there is like a smooth rainbow lighting effect that I have on my lights. I just feel like it fucks up the edit a little bit, and I would rather have it be one consistent color. Thank you, Creature of the Fae. I'm wearing a dress. It's a cute dress. I've never combined it with this top before, so that's kind of new. I'm almost not fitting in this dress because of how big my arms are. I'll flex for you if we get to the stream goal, though. The remote is basically how you program it. You plan to press a button ahead of time and follow that plan when you get to different parts. Yeah. It would just, you know, I might as well just think about it a little bit more and be like, what's the vibe right now? Fishnets elevate any outfit to a 10. Exactly. Oh, yes, like when people happen to film during sunset. Okay, let me pick one solid color, and we'll stick with it. There. It's purple. People always forget that 99% of programming is design and the other 1% is implementing the design. Frankly, I don't know very much about programming. The most I've ever done with any kind of, like, telling machines to do what they, like, what to do. Like, I used to do my MySpace profile and my Gaia Online profile with CSS. And that was, like, 15 years ago. So that's like, I did, I guess, a little bit of HTML, but very rarely. Ooh, I got snake bites last week, and it's a vibe. Yo, snake bites are the vibe, absolutely. Did you get studs, or did you get hoops? Because I'm a hoop bitch. Another Gaia bitch, me too. Yes, I loved Gaia Online. When all the boys were playing RuneScape, I was playing GaiaOnline.com. Or a lot of what I would do is I would go to the website that would let you customize an avatar with, like, you would basically just be able to use any of the items in the game to make your, like, fantasy avatar. And that was, oh, I'm working my way toward my fantasy Avi. Snake bites, gang. Snake bites. I was doing Gaia Online and RuneScape. Is this what being non-binary is about? True. Oh my gosh. I wonder how many people I just threw back. There's gonna become a point where the audience is trending younger. Like, I imagine there's gonna be a point where the audience that I have, like, I think most of you are millennials, I would guess. Sound off. What generation are you? I want to know. Are you a Zoomer? Are you millennial? Are you Gen X? Are you older? What's the age range here? Millennial, Zoomer, Millennial. I'm a generation that doesn't believe in... okay. I'm in the generation that doesn't believe in generations. Gen Z 97. Okay. Elder Millennial. Exennial. Z, I guess. 94. I'm in 94, and I consider myself a younger millennial. Like, I'm on the younger end of millennial. I'm definitely not a Zoomer. There is a difference between me and the Zoomers, and I can feel it. Gen X. Okay. So a lot of millennials. A little bit of Zoomers. A little bit of Gen X. 1985. 1985. Anyway, that's bowling for soup. Zillennial, caught in between Z and millennial. Zoomer! Yes, Halo Ben, what's up? I know I'm not a Zoomer because I was confused the first time someone said no cap. It's not Zoomer, that's just African American vernacular English. Like, that's all that is. And then it got, like, broadly co-opted by Zoomer culture in general, but I've only heard it from Zoomers personally, but okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could say that it's, like, the new generation of black slang, but yeah, that's not, like, a Gen Z thing in general, or at least it didn't start as such. Zoomers are funnier than millennials? Millennials are depressed, I think, and Zoomers are just so black-pilled that they're able to be funnier. They didn't grow up with a promise of a good world, you know? They did not have that. My birth year is right in the cutoff. I'm either the last millennial or the first Zoomer. What do you think about making a quiz on you quiz? I don't know what that is, Phoebe. What's up, Anthony? Yeah, millennials are boring. We're tired. We got back problems. Yeah, listen, my rotator cuff, like, I think it's because I sleep on it weird. And Ghosty, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I didn't hear the audio that time. Did you all hear the rar from the alert box? Because I didn't hear it on my end. But thank you so much for the $5 dono. Getting to flex 69. Nice. You didn't hear it? Okay. Okay, I'll have to fix it later and figure out what exactly I did wrong. What did I do? No rar. 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 It's a quiz site. What for the quiz? I feel like it's okay. No, it was not your account, I promise. I am just... I'm just not sure what exactly I did to the desktop audio to make it not quite want to work. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what I have done. And now it should work better. I think it'll be okay. All right, there's almost 60 people here. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. If you have not yet hit like, please hit like. Even if you're on your way out, we appreciate you, and we're about to get started on the news. What do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about Elon Musk? I feel like, you know, when Vosh talks about Elon Musk, it's kind of like that's something that his audience is interested in. I don't think my audience wants to hear about Elon Musk at all, which is why I did not title the stream Elon Musk. So I don't want to lose folks by starting off with something that people think is going to suck. We got Elon Musk, who has decided that providing transition-related care to trans kids is child abuse and should be criminalized. He has a transgendered child. Keep that in mind. Or, like, you know, she's an adult now, I think. But he has a trans kid, so it sucks that he's going this way. There is, yeah, the news about the trans speaker being canceled. We have news about a attempted bombing in France. We have news about a grifting trans woman. Those are kind of like the options that we have today. I don't want to hear about Elon Musk. Fair enough, Celine. I'm going to dip to avoid bad LGBT news. Yes, Take care of yourself. Be good. If you've escaped from Tennessee, that's amazing, Baphomet, and I'm so glad to hear it. Take care of yourself, hun. So Nominal Naomi did the line, and there was a caller that didn't get to go through who wanted to debate her on breastfeeding her baby. And the reason it didn't go through is because he's the guy who got banned from the line on your episode. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, Gabriel. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be going on the Transatlantic Call-In show again on June 15. So that'll be 2 p.m. Central Time, June 15. Last time we did almost a 3.5 hour long show. It was quite a long show. I don't know if we're going to go that long again this time, but Arden and I are going to be talking about, its pronouns. That's going to be one of the topics that we discuss, most likely, because we've both expressed interest in discussing it on the line. So yeah, the channel is called The Line. The show is called the Transatlantic Call-In Show. People call in and they, some of them are just trans people who want to chit chat, and some of them are transphobes who want to argue, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it greatly the last time I was there. I'm going to once again echo Demon Mama's sentiment that Elon Musk is the mind virus. Every news cycle involves him and it's exhausting. I don't talk about him very often. It's mostly just him using his position of power to exert influence, like him using his money to exert influence. Like, he's explicitly said he's going to start lobbying. Every Zoomer wants to be from a different generation, yet I'm over here like, I'm glad I wasn't aware of the sexism, racism, body standards, and classism that's rampant in the 2000s. That's fair enough. You're like, I'm so glad that I'm young enough that I didn't have to deal with that shit. It's like, I guess to a Zoomer, it sort of feels like ancient history, the idea that, you know, trans people were the butt of a lot of jokes in 90s media, 80s and 90s media, for sure. Elon Musk is just Lex Luthor. Isn't he renaming Twitter just the letter X, as if that is not the most villain behavior? He's trying to do Neuralink to infect us with his mind virus. He renamed the company X. The site is still Twitter. Yeah, when he is talking about it, he says X/Twitter, like on his Twitter feed. Great. Dude, I don't want to drop that joke yet. I'll drop the joke during the segment. I like being a Zoomer. I just wish we weren't doomed. You're the ones who are gonna be able to fix things. There's a lot of you, and you're gonna be the ones who are in power. I mean, I guess millennials are gonna be in power before you all will be, but y'all are a pretty big significant portion of the vote. So if you're 18, get registered to vote. He reminds me of a bad Austin Powers joke. Elon Musk truly is a cartoon villain. People are gonna dead name Twitter forever. Yeah, the website is still Twitter, so. Okay, so yeah, we're unsure whether we want to talk about Elon Musk. Maybe we won't start out with Elon. Maybe we will do trans news first. Let's talk about Kelly Cadigan first, because that's not like hardcore serious news. We'll talk about Kelly Cadigan. Trans woman grifter. We'll get to that. I need to get some water. I drank my water almost immediately, and I need more of it. The X on my passport. It just stands for Twitter, officer, I swear. That's pretty good stuff. I'm enthused about the news today. I feel like I put my show together really nicely. I'm ready to get into it. We're gonna have a great time. A great time. Hit like while I'm gone. I'm just gonna go grab some water. You should grab some water too. If you don't have a drink, if you need a little sneaky snack, get yourself hydrated, okay? Rule number 1 is don't die. We stole it from Demon Mama. She has the right idea. Rule number 1, the one rule, the only rule, don't die. So stay hydrated, all right? Be right back. I'm so pretty. I wear a dress. Okay. I have my water. Hopefully you have your water. Let's talk about Kelly Cadigan. Hydrate yourself first before you try to help others. Yes, make sure your your glass of water is full before you fill other glasses of water. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get ready to talk about Kelly. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this. Oh, hold on. I feel like my words just completely left me for a second there. That happens when you have ADHD. I took Ritalin earlier and it still happens. Okay, so on Twitter, there is this woman who I've seen periodically. She's a trans woman. She's highly passing trans woman. And the reason is because she transitioned when she was 15. She's been kind of really hardcore identifying with the right wing. So I don't know if whoa, yikes. If you haven't seen her before, this is the woman I'm talking about. Her name is Kelly Cadigan. She's kind of, it seems like she's been trying to insert herself into the discourse and become sort of the next Blair White or something along those lines. Like the TikTok Blair White, essentially, is what she's been doing. She transitioned when she was 15, and she's been talking about things like, you know, here, predators will continue to be predators regardless of laws. I've been using the women's bathroom like I have for the past 7 years without issue. So she does stuff like that, where she's trying to advocate for herself in the right, like within the right-wing space. And she's posting like about the word Tim, like trans-identified male. She's kind of like uncomfortable with trans men being pregnant. Talking about how there's only two genders. Yeah, there's man and woman, nothing more, nothing less. Just being, you know, that's pretty standard. That's not even right-wing. That doesn't even feel right-wing in particular. Because, like, you know, trans medicalists be trans medicalism. She's been kind of spoofing Dylan Mulvaney with like a day 20 as a conservative, day 20 as a right-winger, and generally just kind of riding this weird line between being kind of like mildly transphobic. I mean, pretty transphobic actually, but like also trying to advocate for herself as a binary trans woman within the space of right-wingers. And she also argued with Nominal Naomi about slavery. I don't even know why they were talking about slavery, probably because of something silly that Kelly posted on her page. But she kind of like just straight up said that like black people may have enjoyed being slaves, and maybe that's why it took them so long to like fight for their freedom. Because if you are the kind of slave who's well taken care of and well fed, and you're like friends with the person who owns you, I guess, then it's not so bad. So that was pretty cringe, pretty upsetting to a lot of people. So this is the person that we're talking about. And she, day 13 of being on the right, and today I'm going to be burning the pride flag. Since speaking my political truth, I've been met with nothing but cult-like ideology from the left, and I'm not okay with that. It's not hate speech for me to say that minors should not be transitioning, especially when I'm someone with personal experience transitioning as a minor. To
say that your pronouns are conditional. Anyone in America that has freedom of...
Stop. It's free speech for people to call me he, him, and it's not hate speech for me to say non-binary people are not trans, like... And then more recently, let's see, hold on, let me stop giving you fucking whiplash from scrolling. So she's trying to argue, yeah, where's the men's bathroom? Stop using the word Tim. Trying to find the next video. She says on May 14th, I am not a grifter. Here she says, if me transitioning at 15 while simultaneously advocating for minors not to medically transition, if that makes me a hypocrite, then I'm a proud hypocrite. She's saying, like, I transitioned when I was 15 and that was good for me. That was right for me. But it's not okay for other minors to get transition-related care. So she's like, yeah, well, if that makes me a hypocrite, then I'm a proud hypocrite. There's been a sudden turn. There's been a sudden change. Well, I guess it's not so sudden. She's been sort of gradually, like, becoming more and more disillusioned with the right wing as she's dealing with, like, gender critical ideology coming at her, basically. Why do the worst people always seem to be blonde? It's like an inverse Hitler theory. I don't know. Her roots here, like is she actually blonde, or does she just dye her hair? Most obvious F you, I got mine, I've seen in a while. Truly. Like, yeah, this was good for me, but I don't want anybody else to have this good thing. Like, I pass completely, and so I want to prevent other people from being able to pass. Like, look at her. Like, she has really great, like, breast development because she got to start when she was younger and she didn't finish, like, developing her, like, bone structure and everything. Like, her shoulders are relatively, like, thin. You know, like, she gets to pass because she started so much younger. And, yeah, she's, I guess some people have been telling her why she's not allowed to celebrate Mother's Day. So she's been having some friction within the right. Clearly, her ideology is somewhat in conflict, like, with her existence as a trans woman. Let's see. Yeah, biological women are not better than trans women. She's kind of drifting. She says, I don't know where I am politically anymore. This is May 29th, so I've been mentally drained by the right. And then she's got a more recent video that I would like to actually go ahead and watch, because I just wanted to give you, like, the overview of what she is like, you know, just the overview in general. Oh my gosh, this is the wrong ear. Oh my gosh. A lot of people have been calling her out as a grifter and saying, this is, like, you can't be sincere with this, you know, you can't be real about this. You know, why are you trying to say that other trans people are less valid than you? You know, are you just trying to make money? What is the purpose? Yeah, you're hurting yourself as much as you're hurting other people here. The radical right will never accept her. Yeah, I think she's kind of figured this out. I think she's kind of figured it out at this point. The mask is slipping on their support for Obergefell. Oh yeah, they've been talking about that for, like, at least since when Ketanji Brown Jackson was being questioned in the lead up to her appointment to the Supreme Court. You know, one of the old white men who was questioning her brought up Obergefell, which is the gay marriage one. That's the gay marriage one. That's the one that made it legal for gay marriage. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, like, make sure my audio stuff is gonna be working correctly.
Want to go out of there?
Okay, yes, but I'm not gonna be able to hear it in my earbuds that way. I've created a complication for myself, and I want to fix it now. Okay. Okay, hold on. I need this, and then I need to do this over here. Okay, does that?
Not the same.
Okay, yes, that will work.
Gender woman, and it's the same thing that, like...
Cool. We gotta make adjustments. We gotta do things. Hello, soy boy. Hello. Hello. I don't think she was a grifter as much as trying to protect herself by othering herself to the rest of trans people, like trans meds. Well, let's watch this video. Let's watch what she has to say. Before we get into it, hit like on the video or on the stream, wherever you are. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us so much. Consider dropping me a Consider dropping me a donation. This is my full-time job. And we appreciate all the likes and subscribes and the comments and the everything. So yeah, let's watch this whole 3-minute video that she recently posted. Let's go.
All right, I wasn't planning on making a video today. Obviously, it's Tanner Day. But there's been a lot of discourse on Twitter about whether I view myself as a man or a woman. And here's the thing.
Oh wait, is that the right one? No. Is that not the right one? Oh, no, it's this one. Okay, it's this one.
You know, growing up, I always wanted to be friends with the people who hated me. Just because I wanted to be seen as normal so bad. And I almost feel like I kind of never grew up. And even in my 23-year-old self, I still feel like I'm that 15-year-old that's constantly looking for validation through not just cis biological people, whatever you want to call it, but just through Republicans in general. And I don't know why. I think it's through me just needing to feel accepted, wanting to feel like I'm cared about by people who don't want to care about me. I don't know why I've always needed that.
This feels to me like, okay, if this is legit, this is a really big admission, in my opinion. Like, speed running the degrifter arc, I guess. 23 is pretty young. I thought she was older. No, she's young. And she is still, like, figuring herself out, and I get that. Still trying to figure out where she is politically and all that. And, like, so if this is true, and she's, like, recognizing that some behaviors that she's been doing is the same as behaviors she was doing when she was younger, like, you know, assuming that she was kind of a feminine little kid, but, like, presumably nobody knows that she's trans, and so she's just a feminine boy, and, like, getting bullied and getting made fun of. She tried to befriend those people, allegedly, according to her. Like, she's like, yeah, I used to try to be friends with people who were being mean to me because I wanted their acceptance, because I wanted to change their mind. And so she would change herself in order to be friends with those people. And so she's kind of seeing this current thing as maybe, yeah, like, I'm trying to get attention from people who don't like me, who don't want me around. And now they've been so abusive to her. That's kind of what it comes down to, I think, is that people are being essentially abusive to her, you know, calling her a Tim, saying she's not a real woman, saying she's not allowed to celebrate Mother's Day if she ever has a child in the future. Just really cruel things. And you just have to, you know, recognize that you can't be gender critical without also being kind of like a despicably cruel right-winger. So, yeah, let's continue with this.
And I think I'm coming out of it because I've just kind of been thinking a lot about the people I talk to on Twitter and the things they say to me, like calling me a trans-identifying male or a man. And I don't know why I want these people to accept me. I don't know why I care about what they think. And I think I'm starting to care less. And it's funny, when I was a kid and this happened, my friends that were my friends, they didn't want to be friends with me anymore when I started treating them like crap to try to be friends. Sorry, my phone died. But my old friends, they didn't want to be friends with me once they found out I was ditching them to try to get in with the cool crowd. And it feels like the same thing's happening again. I ditched the left to talk about how I felt on the right, and I think I'm just starting to see the reality that, like, the people on the right don't actually care about me. And the people that did care about me and did want to support me, they don't want to take me back. And I can't even blame you guys because of all the awful things I said.
So part of me wonders and feels like, I don't know if this in itself is also like an attention grabbing thing where she's like, so now I've alienated both of these groups of people. And so maybe there's a possibility that this is a continuation of that same behavior. She's going, oh, well, now the left hates me. I want to make them like me. I want to seek their approval and their community. But but at the same time, maybe she does genuinely believe when she says, I don't know if the left is gonna take me back. The question is, how is she gonna follow up? Well, it's been a couple of days since she posted this, I believe. So we might be able to see a little bit of like, what is she saying now that she's switched over? If she's admitting that she was willing to just say things for the sake of getting attention and like literally to just try to get people to like her, then I think it's good for us to examine the things that she says now with that framework in mind. Is she going to take the problematic shit down? That's a question. You know, does she need to take the problematic shit down, or is it more honest to leave it up and then kind of deconstruct it and do stitches where she responds to her old content? I think that might be interesting. We should send her to Vosh I think he did cover this. I believe actually his video came out already about like responding to this same content. So yeah, the right doesn't care about a person. Crazy. Yeah, he did put out a vid about it. Blair White is trying to join the cool crowd as well, and they don't care about her. They're still very cruel to her. I think she and Naomi are going to have another convo. Yeah, I would love to talk to her. I think that would be a really interesting convo to have because of something that she says again later on in this video. So let's keep going. Bye, Mama. Bye. All right.
I said so many awful things. All because I just wanted to be accepted. It felt good. It felt really good, like being seen by a lot of like right-wing creators I used to watch, and I felt like I was one of them. I felt like I was gonna be like Candace Owens and you know, get my own show on the Daily Wire and be a pick-me and own that title. And it's just...
She did actually have her pronouns in bio were pick/me for a while. Like, she actually has changed it now. It says she, her, but she, you know, tried to reject the whole idea of pronouns by being like, yes, I'm a pick-me. I self-identify as a pick-me. If you're going to criticize me as one, then I'm going to self-identify as one. She really wanted to be like Candace Owens, like, but the white trans girl version.
All like for what? Even if I did like get major success, it would all just be so fake and full of hate, and I just don't know how I got here.
That 1,000-yard stare. That 1,000-yard stare was, I think that speaks volumes. It makes it seem a little bit more sincere. What did she say? She said something more recently. She's changed her stance on what age is appropriate to transition. So she is now saying, I think, she said, I am a hypocrite.
So I made a mistake. As someone who did transition at 15 years old, I do think it makes me a hypocrite to take the stance that no one should be able to transition until they're 18 years old. I will say, when I gave that opinion, I was doing it with the mindset that I was protecting children. That's really what I thought, because I was seeing like many videos of people that transitioned as minors detransitioning when they became adults. And I now realize that my page on Twitter is definitely more right-leaning, and I made it that way. So of course I'm going to see.
Yeah, she's acknowledging that she algorithmically ended up with a right-wing bias on the information that she was even consuming. I always knew she was coming to this point. I recognized that she had too much of a backbone and too much self-respect to sustain the abuse she'd need to sustain to have a successful grift. You really do have to be willing to tolerate a lot of crap. Yeah, Blair gets verbally brutalized by her, quote, friends constantly. She ends up being criticized and told, you know, to grow her mustache back out, like that would be the best thing she could do for the conservative movement. Blair lets people just talk down to her so much, and Kelly has more self-respect than that, and I respect her for that. She says in the middle of my manic episode, so she might be a little bit freaked out at the moment. I have some apologies to make, she says.
Right. You know, you don't have to accept me back. You can think I'm manipulative, but I'm going to tell you guys some things I learned while being on the right, just so everyone can learn from my mistakes. The right doesn't ever believe that I can be a woman of any kind, not even just a...
I mean, girl, I could have told you that, but I'm glad that you came around.
woman that isn't a biological woman. No, they want you to be called a male, specifically a trans-identified male. The right does not believe that if you as a trans person adopt a child one day, if you're a trans man, you can't celebrate Father's Day. If you're a trans woman, you can't celebrate Mother's Day. They told me that I am not allowed...
Do I gotta take it back? I thought I clicked the button and it just didn't pop off. Let's just start that over. Hold on. There's no way you can transition enough for them. Yeah, they're never gonna want that.
You know, you don't have to accept me back. You can think I'm manipulative, but I'm going to tell you guys some things I learned while being on the right, just so everyone can learn from my mistakes. The right doesn't ever believe that I can be a woman of any kind, not even just a woman that isn't a biological woman. No, they want you to be called a male.
I think that outfit is really cute.
Specifically a trans-identified male. The right does not believe that if you as a trans person adopt a child one day, if you're a trans man, you can't celebrate Father's Day. If you're a trans woman, you can't celebrate Mother's Day. They told me that I am not allowed to celebrate Mother's Day, that in and of itself would be offensive to women. They told me that even as a post-op trans woman, not that it should matter either way, I should be forced to use the men's bathroom.
She is experiencing the dissonance between her assimilation into cishet society. Like, she looks like a woman, totally. She passes, she sounds like a woman, she's got like a womanly figure, she's skinny and attractive and white, and all those things are going for her. So she's experiencing the dissonance between her experience of being totally integrated versus the ideological position that she is a man, when she is experiencing fundamentally like she is a woman in society. Yeah, you could look like Scarlett Johansson and they would still find a reason to hate you. I mean, the transvestigation thing is they look at cisgender women and point out all of their supposedly manly features. It's a joke that Mia Moore does all the time. Mia Moore, who is, she's having her movie called Again, filming this summer, and Abigail Thorne's gonna be in it, which is great. She'll post pictures of famous cisgender actresses, like Sigourney Weaver and stuff, and the sissies on Twitter will say, oh my god, that's obviously a man, just look at that jawline. And also true, yeah, Violet says, in the way, the more you pass, the more angry it makes them, because it's really hard to argue at a certain point. And so the only way that they can transvestigate trans people is by inadvertently sweeping up a bunch of cis people in that as well. Because there is a lot of overlap between features. Humans are not as sexually dimorphic as we think. Anyway, yep. So let's see what else she has to say.
There's no middle ground with the people on the right. They genuinely just want you to say you're a male that's feminine, and that takes female hormones. That's what they want you to say. And they're so dense that they can't see the bigger picture of what a trans identity.
Interestingly, that is also like, again, that, you know, they are so about free speech. You know, the conservatives are so, oh my God, it's my free speech to call you he, him, but I am going to try to police your speech by forcing you to stop calling yourself a woman. Isn't that fascinating? I hadn't ever considered that angle until just now. Ooh, we got a couple new people in. Hit the like button really quick if you're enjoying hanging out and watching this. A lot of British trans people pointed out how manly Kathleen Stock was as a transvestigation joke. True. Okay, yeah, so I think it was in this video something towards the end that I really appreciated.
Actually is, like, most of us are aware of what we are biologically, but it's deeper than that, and that's what they don't get. I was at a point where I would watch so many stitches of my videos and I would want to react with anger. But I'm not going to react with anger because I've done too much damage to the community to be upset about that. People have a right to be upset with me. People have a right to not ever want to accept me back into the community. I understand that. I've done and said some horrible things. I don't want to come on here and cry. Like, I want to be just real. I'm sorry to Dylan Mulvaney for taking your days of girlhood shtick and using it for my own conservative grift.
She calls it a conservative grift right there. Like, she is saying, admitting on her own, this was a grift. Like, I feel like that's pretty big. That's pretty big of her. If she's being genuine, I do appreciate it. And I hope she's being genuine, because I would be willing to accept her back into the community. I would be willing to have conversations with her, and she thinks she's beyond repair, but in my experience, the left is far more forgiving than the right. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you have to radically accept the harm that you've done in order to make amends. And so, you know, if she's able to really recognize, yes, I said some horrible things, it was not cool, and I understand if you're mad at me in a way that is, like, unforgivable, you know? I don't think I can ever fully trust her. I want to believe, but I am extremely suspicious. Right, and I'm entering this with the knowledge, as I said earlier on in the episode, like, she is admitting that she has done things explicitly to get attention, and explicitly she has said things that she doesn't believe in order to get the right-wingers to like her. Or at least maybe she did believe on some level that she was trying to do something to protect children with being against child transition. Like, she allowed herself to be convinced on some level that these things were true. Or maybe it was like cognitive dissonance, which is sort of like you rapidly alternate between two conflicting beliefs, and it's like an internal inconsistency that you hold. So yeah, I agree that it's right to be suspicious and to, you know, I wouldn't let her in on she doesn't get to be sitting in on the council meetings of the trans cabal when we all get together and make our decisions about which babies we're going to sacrifice in order to fuel our youthful transition or whatever. Anyway, that's going to get clipped out of context someday. I'm not saying, yeah, she doesn't get to be... She's not in the cool group chats, exactly. But this is a step in the right direction, I think. And I'm interested in finishing hearing her out here.
I'm sorry to the Black community for what I said about slavery. I shouldn't have said that. And to non-binary people, I'm sorry I said your identities aren't valid, but I'm also not going to sit here and say I understand. I need to talk to more non-binary people to have a better understanding of your identity and what it means, because I truly still don't understand. But I'm willing to hear you guys out and have a conversation about it now.
So listen, I was thinking about maybe hitting her up. I don't know if she's already gotten like a million private messages. It's not like I'm the only non-binary streamer who exists, but listen, if she's genuine, and I tweeted in response, I told her, you know, if this is legit, I would be willing to have the convo. My tweet is not even showing up in the top tweets because of Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure that I responded to this. They only liked her because she was throwing her whole community under the bus. Yeah, I mean, she wasn't... They don't actually like any trans people, the right wing. They just want to use you to make their argument. Like, oh, even this feminine man who identifies as trans agrees that children shouldn't do it. You know, even Candace Owens says that this isn't racist. We need de-radicalization pipelines because if we just scold, we increase the effectiveness of the enemy's attempts to turn us on ourselves. She seems legit, but I also generally like to see the best in people and see progress. What I like to keep repeating is that there were Jewish Nazis until there suddenly weren't. True. So she could be grifting again. I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. So I might reach out to her. I would be willing to have the conversation publicly or privately. We could have her on stream to speak to us about this, or I would also be willing to just reach out personally and have that conversation privately so that there's not the pressure of being in public and, you know, the debate sphere kind of thing that happens. Not that I'm known for being a debate bro. I do a little bit. Man, wouldn't it be so funny if me doing the Transatlantic Call-In show made me into a debate bro? That would be so much fun. Grift Inception. I agree with having the benefit of the doubt. It would be kind of cool to have her on stream. It could be fun. She didn't leave the right. She couldn't even get in. What if she was intentionally creating a controversy to launch a career with a view to this exact outcome happening? She's not going to get famous as a left-wing trans woman, though, is the thing. She would have gotten famous if she had swallowed her pride and just been a pick-me on the right. This is the thing. Here, you see me? Hi, I'm Luxander. I have 30,600 subscribers on YouTube. And I don't know that I will ever get my bronze play button. Like, I don't know, or is it silver? It's silver and then gold and then the diamond one. Is that the play buttons? I don't know that I'm ever gonna get to 100,000 subscribers. That's more than twice the size of my channel now. The current projections on Social Blade are showing that my channel is going to maybe reach 40,000 in a roughly 2 years. Roughly 2 years from now, according to current projections, I will reach 40,000 subscribers. So you don't get famous as a left-wing trans person. Like, you just don't. There's like a ceiling. I guess Keffels is like a famous leftist trans person to some extent. Infamous, perhaps, in some circles. But you don't get to be Blair White. You don't, like, how many subs does Blair White have at this point? I haven't looked at her channel in a long time. Blair White has 1.11 million subscribers. She has more than 1 million subscribers. Yet, I am never going to be a 1 million subscriber trans channel. Kelly is never going to be a 1 million subscriber trans channel if she sticks on the, like, left-wing stuff. ContraPoints. Yeah. But ContraPoints also started out being famous as a man. Like, her core, like, she started with that benefit of having been a creator who was presenting as a man for a really long time. Kevels only has 45k subs. Right, her streams are just so much bigger than mine. Blair White and Natalie Wynn were fighting back and forth years ago. Like, you can't deny that it puts them further ahead. If you have a career starting, if you basically could already support yourself to some extent off of a YouTube channel as a man, and then you transition, it's just much harder. Mia Mulder? How big is Mia Mulder's channel at this point? That's a good question. $144. Okay. But she's definitely not at 1 million. 144k subs though is pretty good. Most of the big trans accounts I can think of were big first and then trans. Right. I think, like, Blair knows that they think you're a man. They're just useful. Like, she's just useful to them. So I just don't, I'm just saying that there is not, there's not really great evidence to suggest that trying to grift back toward the left wing is what she's doing. Because I don't think that she's not going to make a huge killing that way. If you think that the grift is the most important thing, then she should have continued being a right-winger. Jesse Gender like a 250,000. That's pretty good. I think Abby's pretty big. Yeah, but she only came out like a couple years ago. She already had hundreds of thousands of subscribers before she came out as trans. It is hard to be a big trans streamer unless you have serious mainstream crossover. Yeah, which I do not. I do not. People don't want to hear me talk about mainstream stuff because they think my voice is too weird. The left is not a lucrative place to grift. So it remains to be seen whether she is going to be consistent with this, whether it's a grift. I am inclined to believe that she's serious, and I would love to have the conversation. Abigail coming out was one of the largest UK comings out ever. Yeah, for sure. So Kelly, hey babe, if you want to learn about non-binary identities, I would love to chit-chat with you. Reach out. I'll have my people to contact your people. And by that, I mean I'll DM you later. I, for one, love the sound of your voice. Well, thank you. I just know that it's a very obviously trans voice, so normies get upset by it. I would argue that Abigail isn't left-wing, really. I mean, that's probably her voting pattern, but she makes a point of not being explicitly political. She's talked about this in an interview recently. But she is just so very clearly, like, anarchist-leaning. If you listen to the formulation of her arguments, like, yes, she is presenting philosophy for the sake of presenting philosophy, but she is also, she presents things in a certain order. She presents certain speakers. And yes, like, I believe, like, she's the influence on me that is making me more anarchist. So I kind of feel like, yeah, she doesn't claim a specific political position, but I personally think that Abigail is like pretty hardcore lefty. Did you see that Alexander Avila channel used to be called Are They Gay? Just came out as a trans guy? I'm kind of hype. Nope, I did not see that. Did not know about that. Luxander sounds sexy. Well, thank you. I mean, of course you all like my voice. You're here for it. That's like one of the main things about this show. I be looking cute, and I be sounding like I sound. Oh my god, I'm gonna need to go to the restroom soon. The thing about I have like so much vocal fry because I'm so thirsty, but if I drink a lot of water, then I have to go to the bathroom often, and I don't even have a bathroom song ready. And there goes the camera. Is it because it's hot? Is that why it does it? I don't know. Oh, so Alex was stealth? This person used Demon Mama's bathroom song? I don't want to do that. That would be rude. But so what kind of channel does this person have? Alexander Avila? What kind of channel do they have that they were stealth and they just came out as trans? I'm curious. Her not claiming a party or political identity is on purpose. It's called plausible deniability. True, Shade. I think that's accurate. Okay, so Alexander just does queer media analysis. So he was like, I am an out gay man. Or bi man, maybe. And only just came out as trans after being stealth. Literally used to be overanalyzing gay ships. Okay. Sing the campfire song from SpongeBob. I didn't watch SpongeBob when I was younger. So I don't know it. Alex's video is called I Was a Transgender Child. Well, that's cool. I'm glad for him. Alexander Avila. Yeah, 388,000 subscribers. Jiminy Christmas. No SpongeBob. Your childhood was dark by default. I mean, more than you know. More than you know, Corpse Candy. He transitioned at age 14. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna have more and more folks who are coming out and saying, yeah, I am trans, or I'm trans now, or I've been trans, all this kind of stuff. There's gonna be more and more people, and like explaining what it was like to be a transgender child, and like, hey, I'm a happy and adjusted adult. He said he used to use a voice changer in his earliest videos because he was pre-T until age 17, and that he started the channel before that. Impressive. At age 17, like I'm learning how to use a voice modulator. A moist modulator. My childhood wasn't very dark, but I had a lot of nightmares for no real reason. Very strange. Ooh, that's rough. I'm meeting a lot of translators lately. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom before it becomes a pressing issue. And then the next thing we're gonna talk about is, maybe we'll wait for Elon Musk. Let me see, what have I got? Drag ban, French, oh yeah, let's talk about the French LGBT, like the terrorist on, here's the song, we should listen to it on stream. We can't listen to songs on stream. We can't listen to SpongeBob songs on stream. That would definitely kill the stream. No. So we're going to talk about a 17-year-old Christian or Catholic fundamentalist extremist in France attempted to, like, using a homemade explosive device, do a terrorism on an LGBT center. Excuse me, they're in France. So we'll talk about that story next. It shouldn't take us very long to get through the article. Imagine if we had the same fraction of trans visibility in movies and on TV that we now seem to have from online content creators. Would be so much more normalized in the eyes of the cishet by now. Agreed. We need more trans rep. This is how you help. You help by supporting trans creators. You know, hold on. Here's how you can help. I will show you a way that you can help get more mainstream representation for trans people. Are you ready? Hold on, where is she? Okay, so this is a movie that you should follow the development of. Follow the development of this movie. It's called Again Again by Mia Moore, and she is gonna be... She's cast Abigail Thorne as Naomi in it. And she's got, like, the rest of the cast has been announced. They're gonna be filming it this summer, I believe. I was gonna suggest becoming a female movie star. No. No, 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 no. The only trans guy rep I had as a kid was Pinocchio. You have Mulan. Sort of. Sort of. The first other trans woman I talked to in person also came out at age 42. Yeah. So what you support trans creators. You share our content. You engage with the content. You help fund the content. And then that's where it goes from there, okay? True, Mulan was a huge deal to me. Who is that girl I see? Yeah. Trans guy rep back in the day. I'm excited to see Identities. I'm not familiar with that one. Oh my god, why are we hemorrhaging views right now? I don't understand. Is it because I said I was gonna step away for fucking 2 seconds to go to the bathroom? Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go and lose another 10 viewers. Be back in a moment. Fill up my water while I'm gone. Okay. Oh, gosh. Identities is the thing Jesse Gender is making. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm really not that... I guess I kind of have decided that maybe Jesse Gender's content is not for me. Okay, well, I'm back. So, let's talk about this French thing really quick. Okay, Kelly, we're done with Kelly. Get her off my screen. We've been talking about stochastic terrorism on this channel. There's actually a whole playlist called Stochastic Terrorism, which probably popped up in the cards when I mentioned it. So there is a rise in hate crimes, potentially. We are looking at an increase in certain sentiments toward trans people. You know, the idea that we're groomers and like, oh, the gender ideology infecting the children. The idea that people aren't born gay or trans, they're converted into being gay or trans. And we think of this as a really America-centric problem. Maybe just because we have the mass shootings here and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, this is an American issue. Hit like on the video if you are familiar with the idea of stochastic terrorism in the United States and trans people being subject to that. Here. So, in France, there was a recent attack on an LGBT center. So we have from Liberation, explosive attack against the LGBT center in Tours. A 17-year-old high school student indicted for violence with a weapon. Suspected of having thrown a bottle filled with acid and aluminum on the structure, this young man explained his act by his, quote, exasperation of the gender theory. He's basically saying gender ideology is bad, and so I tried to destroy a place with like acid and aluminum. What kind of acid did you even get a hold of? Anyway, this is a translated article, so if the English is a little bit funky, that's because the article is translated from French. I could switch it back to French and like try to read it to you, but that would probably not be very fun for anybody. So a 17-year-old was indicted. This attack on May 22nd at the LGBTI Center in Touraine in Tours announced this Friday, June the 2nd, the public prosecutor in Tours said, this is a high school student in his final year, arrested at his home and placed in police custody. He does not have a criminal record, so he's been presented to an examining magistrate, seized of the counts of destruction and degradation aggravated by the motivation on account of sex, sexual orientation, or true or supposed gender identity of the victim, destruction or degradation by dangerous means for people, and violence with a weapon. So it's like multiple charges, it looks like. He's being charged for a hate crime and for like destruction of property, essentially. Facing 10 years imprisonment and a fine of 150,000 euros, says the prosecution, adding that he had requested his placement in pretrial detention. The high school student was, quote, raised in the Catholic religion with, quote, no link with fundamentalist Catholic movements being established. So I guess this child was raised with Catholic religion, but has not otherwise been involved in a fundamentalist Catholic movement, I think. It's hard to read this as, like, the translation. The Parisian revealed that the suspect explained that he acted out of his exasperation with gender theory. The Daily is saying that, the bottle of hydrochloric acid with a diagram detailing the manufacture of an explosive device was found during a search of the parents' home. You should have to be 18 to learn religion. Checkmate. It was a homemade detonating device in broad daylight while 2 employees were present in the Touraine center. The attack caused no injuries. The Tours, they have opened an investigation for attempted murder as well. So that's like a separate charge that they're trying to bring. Investigators will also have to determine if this young man participated in other attacks which have targeted the LGBT center in recent months, such as breaking down the door on the premises and the mailbox being destroyed on one night. So it's been happening, kind of like in America, how we have frequent attacks on abortion clinics. Like, it's very common for abortion clinics to receive death threats or to be set on fire or to have homemade bombs be used against them. Joke's on you, French is my first language. Anyway, so this has been ongoing. This is like an ongoing terrorism against this LGBTI center in France. So it's global, you know? We've always thought, the Western world, it's going to be so pro-gay and pro-trans, like progress is going to be made. You know, we kind of feel like, yeah, I understand that in certain countries in the Middle East, there's extremism and they are not a fan of gay people and it's still criminalized in many places. We think of that problem as being a problem that we don't have to deal with in, quote, civilized countries. But here we are, violence against trans people, violence toward gay people, like, and this kid explicitly said, like, imagine getting arrested for making a homemade bomb and throwing it on a building and, like, admitting to the hate crime. Like, literally, quote, exasperation of the gender theory is what he said. Baby Squid, where are you at? I remember being 5-6 years ago, seeing the bathroom stuff in the United States kicking off and saying to myself, that will be here in about a year or two. And sure enough, it was. Over in the UK. Okay, yeah. So America is kicking off this wave. It's literally just like the eugenics policies that Germany picked up from us. Like, we do kind of pave the way for terrorism toward minority groups, and then other countries sort of take it to an extreme that the United States usually stops short of. Radical religions should be required to give warnings that use of their, quote, products and services may be harmful to your mental health, requiring a license to attend religious services at the age of 18, following a psych exam to rule out mental illness. I don't want to, like, heavily stigmatize religion, I guess, on, like, it's Catholicism, it's Christianity, it's the extreme versions of religion. We're not talking, like, oh, I'm gonna see my son again after I die. Like, okay, as much as I don't enjoy that, I'm also not trying to attack those people right this second. Like, woo, America, yeah, America, fuck yeah. We are trendsetters. We are global trendsetters. So I don't know that I have a whole lot else to add except like, hey, guess what? This is happening everywhere now. Bomb threats and attempted bombings are just going to be the norm now. This is the state of political discourse. So I don't know. Like, I'm not going to tell you what the appropriate response to have is to like terrorists attacking your places of gathering. I'm not going to tell you that you should get a gun and become a member of a local militia group or start one if there isn't one. I'm not going to tell you that you should find out the addresses of people who are voting against your right to exist. I'm not going to tell you to do anything to their homes. I'm not going to tell you to inflict any kind of bodily harm on people who are inflicting bodily harm on you using their power in government. I'm just going to say that all of our current tactics are not really working that well. I'm going to tell you that you should keep voting. I'm going to tell you that you should keep protesting. And then I'm going to ask you whether you think those things have been very effective. And I'll let you take it from there. Like, what do you think we should do about these terrorists? What do you think we should do about these government officials who are, like, voting to steal your children and voting to take away your right to medical care? You know, if you're a woman or a trans person, like, if you have reproductive organs that are currently under attack, if your children are just trying to be themselves and the government is threatening to have you arrested as a parent for child abuse, despite the fact that you've personally witnessed the change in your child when you started letting them socially transition and cut their hair, like, it's up to you to decide what the correct thing is to do. Are you going to run away? Are you going to buckle down? Are you going to start an organization? Are you going to fight? Are you going to join Anonymous? There are options. And I think that you should maybe consider some of the ones that seem like weird ideas to you, perhaps. There's links, formal and informal, between conservatives and their think tank / dark money in different Western countries too. So the influence is not only natural cultural export. Yeah, yes. To be true, it is not just a cultural export, the transphobia, but it is also that we do have rich people here who genuinely do lobby to make being gay and trans a crime in other places. That's why Chick-fil-A is so bad, because they actually support politicians who do things like propose or speak about proposing legislation to make it punishable by death to be gay. Like joining anarchism. Yeah. I don't know the verbiage for getting involved with Anonymous. I need a hug and cuddles. So do we all, truly. So do we all. Right now, my government is leftish, but the conservatives here are also basically calling stuff woke now and pulling the think about the children nonsense out of their asses. It's global. Transphobia is global. I don't know what we're gonna do. Such a weird way to spend one's money. Rich people need to get a life. Yeah, so that's a great segue. Speaking of rich people using their horrendous influence on the rest of society, yeah. Let's talk about Elon Musk for a little bit, okay? Oh, no, wait. Let's do a quick anarchy sidebar. We'll do elongated muskrat here in a moment. But I know that you all don't want to talk about him, so we will get to it in a sec. Let's answer Gozer's question. What do people mean when they say that they are anarchist? It does not mean chaos in the streets. Or, like, that's not the goal. So, anarchy as a political framework is kind of fundamentally just, it's the idea that the way that we do governments and states right now is not ideal. And it's not a justified hierarchy. Like, anarchists don't believe that nobody is allowed to be in charge, or that that there is no such thing as someone who is an expert or who is better at something or who is making the decisions. It is the idea that we shouldn't have unjustified hierarchies. Like, I was born in this country. I don't have any control over the laws. I did not consent to be under the ownership, essentially, of the United States government. Like, realistically, like, we are all, like, if you're a citizen of a country, the country kind of owns you in a way. Like, they can prevent you from leaving. They can inflict things on you without your consent. Like, you are like a piece of property of the entity that is the government, which is trying to keep the country running in the way that you run a business. Like, you are a piece of equipment in a machine that the government is maintaining. So one of the things that I think personally is that, you know, governments are invested in their own perpetuation. So if the government was fundamentally not working, and it is fundamentally not working, then it fundamentally needs to be restructured or done away with. And like, it is going to try to protect itself. And that's one of the things that makes governments not good, is that they are resistant to change that is in the benefit of the people, because it is not focused on the well-being of people. A government is focused on its own perpetuation. So it's just the idea that people should be making decisions for the good of people, and that we should and like, there's also usually a bit of an economic aspect of, like, we should not be doing things in a capitalist framework, doing things for the purpose of them being profitable, as opposed to doing things for the purpose of making life better, regardless of whether it's going to cost, or sorry, regardless of whether it's going to, whether it's going to cost money or whether it's going to make money. Best definition and guide I found on capital A anarchism, as opposed to the colloquial use with the lowercase a, where it's used as a shorthand for the Joker from Batman. It's not no government or state. It's that if there is a form of organization, it is voluntary and participatory. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, but like, not, like, you don't necessarily want there to be processes that are resistant to change. And that's kind of what I fundamentally think that states are. And like, that's what makes a state different from a group of people who have decided to make a community together. Basically communism. Not necessarily. Like, communism, socialism, and anarchism are all quite related to one another, but they do have nuances. So an anarchistic system does not mean living on a commune, per se. It means that any system of governance or organization is done consensually. You can be drafted into the military for war. You can be coerced into working for the government for research or other programs in the interest of, quote, national security if the government demands it. The government can take your land under eminent domain. They can commandeer vehicles and equipment, too. Learned all of these things in my lifetime. Yeah, like, you are owned by the government, effectively. Co-ops are anarchist, and they still have necessary and justified hierarchical roles that are shared roles that people can choose to take on or follow based on consensus. Right. You know, maybe you start out with a system where you're rotating and each week a different person is in charge of the village kitchen or something. I don't know. And you find that when this one particular person is in charge, things go very smoothly. Everyone's quite happy. There is less food waste. The kitchen's cleaner. And then as a group, we all decide, you know, Angela's the top chef. You know, Angela's the one who we're gonna, you know, every time she's running the kitchen, everything goes so much more smoothly. And if Angela agrees, then, you know, we have a consensual hierarchy where, you know, she's gonna run the kitchen and she's in charge and what she says goes because we all think she's best for the job. And that could also be, like, who's making choices, bigger choices in the community. Maybe you as a community decide that rotating out those roles is the most ideal way to do things. Maybe someone gets voted into a leadership position and they're only there for 1 year. This is why, but like, yeah, but like, I don't think that elections are necessarily a thing that would be functional in an anarchist society. I don't know. Later, Shade. Have fun at your date. This is why borders are a form of violence. Freedom of movement is restricted as long as being a part of a state is a requirement for movement. Right. Damn, Joe burns chicken once and y'all throw him out the kitchen. Yep, he doesn't need to be in there. Get out of the kitchen. The military-industrial complex and lobbyists of various kinds, combined with secrecy, has led to some terrible situations and loss of our freedoms. Corporation having legal rights of individuals. Yeah, it's been a tremendous problem with the donations and stuff. Anyway, so, oh my god. That's kind of like Anarchy 101. That's like, I have never read any theory, so let me just sort of tell you what I think anarchism means. Anyway, now we can talk about Elon Musk. And then we'll save our... We have not yet talked about this title thing. We're going to talk about Elon Musk, and then our next thing is going to be talking about this title thing, okay? So we'll get there. We will get there. Hit like if you have not already hit like. This stream is struggling today, but it's okay. It happens. Don't forget green light for the muskrat. Yeah, we'll get there. Whoop. If we were all living in autonomous zones, then neighboring zones could prevent travel anyway. Yeah, I'm not saying that we have all the answers. I'm not saying that there is any clear way that this would work. I'm just saying we should be willing to have the discussion about what some other options are. That's my thing about anarchy. It's like, I don't have all the answers. No one would have independently come up with all of these complex systems for how we manage resources in our capitalist society. You know, we would be... Like changing a society requires having a number of conversations with a number of experts and community members to see what is going to work best. We're not going to... I mean, unless there's a societal collapse and then we all reinvent governance from the ground up, then sure. But like, yeah, it's all going to be incremental. And I don't have all the answers because I'm not an expert in like psychology and what it would be like if we all had a decentralized, like, things were more on a local level. And even, like, do I think that it's practical to have governance on that small-scale local level? If you have, like, in the United States, you've got plenty of radicalized places where there are right-wingers, and in a decentralized society, would those people just be basically allowed to give themselves permission to kill any gay people who are born in their commune? Like, obviously there are complex issues that go into that. Excuse me. Rather than focusing on government anymore, we would have to look at who really has power. The answer is corporations and very wealthy individuals. We have a multinational plutocracy aristocracy, and it's trying to go fascist. True. I mean, yeah. That's the issue, is, like, frankly, the accumulation of wealth and then the using of that wealth to exert control over society, and then the government is functioning as a tool for making money for corporations and not as, like, a tool for actually trying to create law and order and prosperity amongst the people. So, yeah, it's like, there is a question that's worth asking is government the problem? Or is money and capitalism the problem? Like, could a government be a good thing if it weren't for money? Like, could police be a good thing if it weren't for the fact that one of their main jobs is to protect, moneyed interests, you know? Money is government. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. Money is a form of hierarchy, of course, and it's almost always unjustified hierarchy. Like, you didn't earn billions of dollars. There's no way for you to earn billions of dollars. You stole billions of dollars. You didn't earn, like, there's no job on the planet where you can earn and actually deserve through your work billions of dollars. You stole it from people who earned it. Corruption and secrecy is the problem. That's true. So hit like if you're ready to get into talking about our next subject, which is... what is it? Elon Musk. Yes, I have the Elon Musk tab open. And then we'll talk about the title issue for today. Drag ban affecting trans. Someone was going to give a historical lesson about two-spirit people, and that's why they got canceled, I guess. There will always be material conditions. If not money, I'm sure people would hoard things of value still, as a desire for material needs is inevitable. The real problem is how to distribute those material needs adequately using equity. True. Hello, Morningstar Council. How are y'all today? Was dealing with piss boys yesterday and I'm still tired. Well, hopefully this is not like too much of a high energy stream to make tiredness worse. Scarcity and money are completely disconnected from each other. Yeah, of course. Scarcity is manufactured. Okay, we're ready to talk about Elon Musk. Hit the like button if you're just coming in. We're going to talk about Elon. We've known for a while that there are increasingly more and more anti-trans people. We've also known for a while that Twitter is a place where it's much more comfortable for transphobes to be on there now. We have Matt Walsh building his platform there. Tucker Carlson has decided that he's just hosting his entire show on Twitter from now on. Like, apparently he's not got a website like I do where he's gonna independently host his links. No, he has a Twitter page where he's gonna post his little clips and videos. Twitter is becoming a right-wing hellscape, frankly, and Elon Musk is the one driving all of those horrendous changes. I recently realized that Elon Musk bought Twitter so that he could make shitposting on Twitter into his job. Like, it basically is his job, and you can see that he spends all day on Twitter. If you go on his page and look at the replies, he is just constantly responding to people with blue check marks. It all day. And that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at today. There was this is called the rabbit hole. There is a cost to putting kids on puberty blockers. For example, bone density flatlines. The teen's bone density plummeted into the ranges of osteoporosis, a condition of weakened bones. Someone comments, is anyone studying mental development? How could it be safe to suppress hormonal development at that age? But it's widely considered unhealthy to do certain activities like go to a strip club. This bacon doesn't taste like a banana, and I'm so mad about that. I picked up this bacon and expected it to taste like a banana. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's two completely separate things. Yeah. How is suppressing hormonal development different from taking them to a strip club? Like, wow. The blue check mark is really a sign that you have forfeit some of your brain cells. Like, it kind of seems like you have forfeit some of your brain cells. And then the rabbit hole responds, oh, here's an article about increased suicide risk post-transition. Elon Musk also cited this study. And then the screenshot, a Swedish study says, sex-reassigned transsexual persons of both genders had approximately a 3 times higher risk of all-cause mortality than controls. I haven't even looked at the study, but you can't, compared than controls. Like, what were the controls? Who was the control group? Was it sex-reassigned transsexual persons compared to cisgender persons? Or was it sex-reassigned transsexual persons compared to pre-op trans people? Because if you're comparing, because you're like, okay, you're specifying one specific group of trans people who've had sex reassignment surgery or sexual, genital reconstructive surgery, whatever you want to call it. So are you making a comparison of one group of trans people versus others? Or are you just trying to say trans people in general have a slightly increased risk compared for all forms of mortality? Because being trans is stressful. Is it the surgery or is it the being trans? Because if you do the study that's okay, trans people who've had surgery compared to all cisgender people, then that's not going to give you a clear distinction. If you're trying to say that surgery is the problem, you would need to compare trans people who identify as trans but haven't had surgery versus ones who have had surgery. So it's just I'm just telling you this so that you understand how this is being misrepresented, how this information is being misrepresented. But yeah, if we take as a given that the other study that the suicide rate is increased is correct, then doing this surgery or chemical sterilization on minors gains nothing in terms of reduced mortality. If it gains you years of life, here's the other thing. Surgery or chemical sterilization on minors gains nothing in reduced mortality. Maybe not reduced overall mortality, but if it's reducing the suicide rate of teenagers and then they're dying of something else in their 60s, that would be better. That would be better. It's the being trans. Exactly. It's the being trans. Dude's literally the Skinner meme. People have higher suicide risk after transition. Is it due to the increased prejudice and hatred towards trans people? No, it's the transition that's wrong. Precisely. Why doesn't this bacon drive like a monster truck? And yeah, also notice, Violet points out, none of these transphobes are against hormone blockers used on cis people, only on trans people. Like, I really doubt that they've published a study on pausing after 2 years of puberty blockers. Emma Basks was prescribed estrogen. But what about cisgender kids who are on puberty blockers for like 4 or 5 years? Like, if you have precocious puberty starting at 8 years old, this happens sometimes. Imagine an 8-year-old little girl starts her period at school and how traumatic and difficult that would be. And it's not normal for girls to start their period until maybe like age 13, 14 or so. So if she's on puberty blockers for 5 or 6 years, so that, you know, she doesn't have periods anymore from the time that she's 8 years old until she's about 13. Okay, well, are you going to claim that 5 years of paused puberty is going to lead to, like, devastating osteoporosis? No, because that's stupid. And because the point is that they want to attack trans people and trans existence. The point is not that puberty blockers inherently or pausing puberty inherently is wrong, but pausing puberty for your gender dysphoria is unacceptable and wrong and will make up a bunch of lies about the healthcare. Hit like if you're getting extremely tired of having to repetitively say that trans children deserve access to healthcare and don't deserve to suffer. Hit like if you're just as annoyed as I am by this conversation that we keep having to have. So then, the thing that we're actually here to discuss today, aside from just a general rant about trans youth deserving access to care, is that Elon Musk is now saying, this is a major problem. I will be actively lobbying to criminalize making severe irreversible changes to children below the age of consent. Shame on those who advocate this. It is utterly contemptible. Keep in mind, this man has a transgender daughter. She is changing her name. She's changing her last name so that she doesn't have to be affiliated or related to him at all. Like, Elon Musk is coming out against his own daughter here. He's like turning this into a political campaign. And if you look, this is his entire Twitter page right now. Like, this is the main thing he's talking about. He's platforming the What is a Woman documentary on Twitter and pushing it to viewers, like forcing it to be viewed by more people. And so, yeah, he's actively saying we need to criminalize. So he's saying we need to throw people in jail. He responded to oh gosh, why? Oh no, I didn't mean for that to happen. Oh shoot. Hold on, give me a second. Shit. I messed up and now I don't have the tweet that I was gonna pull up a specific tweet where he responded to Jordan B. Peterson. Hold on, let me see if I can find it again. He posts constantly. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna try to find the tweet that I've lost specifically, but I want to show you while we're here. Like, here's his tweets and replies. Obviously, he's got a lot of like laughing emojis. Oh, he put a laughing emoji at like you can't say white power because the account suspended. Like, he responds to this End Wokeness account a lot. This is what occupation looks like, not oppressed. He's just constantly talking about. Yeah, the phrase gender-affirming care is a criminally evil lie. Excuse me. Gender-affirming care for minors is pure evil, he says. That's not even the tweet that I was specific. He responds to Dr. Peterson a lot. Let's see. He's got a lot of like single word responses to people. Like, this is literally, he's made this into the thing that he does with his entire workday now, is just responding to people on Twitter. What is this? Okay. Just like, this is his most used emoji, I think, is this cracking up face. Okay, hold on. Let me find the tweet that I'm looking for specifically. Not waste your time scrolling through. He just tweets constantly. There's so much to wade through. Jesus. Like, get a life off of the internet, fucking Elon. Jesus Christ. Like, if this wasn't it, what is even today? Today is like June 4th. And I'm looking for a tweet from June 2nd. And I gotta wade through like dozens and dozens of tweets to find it. Okay, now we're finally on June 2nd. Are we gonna get there? Are we gonna get there someday? Oh, he called, yeah, he's amongst the idiots who calls Idiocracy a documentary. Oh my god, my hair is itchy. Ah! I swear, we're so close to finding this tweet. Yeah, supporting the Daily Wire, world champion Streisand effect. As though you aren't artificially inflating the numbers by pushing it to more people. I know, Elon, I'm not stupid. The like 20 some odd million views that the video was getting, or like, that's because you pushed it to people. It's not the fucking Streisand effect. It's an artificially inflated number. Oh my god, what an idiot. Okay, I feel like we're so close. Oh, here we go. Okay. So here, yes. So Dr. Peterson says we need to have prison long-term, without parole, no mercy, and maybe for the compliant, quote, therapists as well as the butchers they enable. Responding to like the thing that he said earlier, like we need to be criminalizing these things. So yeah, Dr. Peterson says, yeah, they need to be prison and long-term, no parole, no mercy. No mercy for doctors following best practices medical care for gender dysphoric children. And of course, Elon says to that, absolutely. 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 I really think that Elon Musk is interested in the flavor complexities of lead pellets. Like, I get the impression that he's curious and wants to do a tasting menu. Have I mentioned how I hate the one-feed design of major social media compared to topic-based navigation? No, you haven't mentioned it, I don't think. So here we have one of the richest people on the planet saying that if you provide gender-affirming treatment, and perhaps even therapists, even the, quote, therapists who are providing affirming care, they're, like, these people support conversion therapy. These people want you to be forced into a cisgender lifestyle. They think that being trans is the absolute worst thing that could happen. Like, you know, if you want to do that to your body as an adult, I guess you have the right, but they don't even actually believe that. They always start with saying, you know, oh, it's reasonable to say that children shouldn't have access to this care. Of course, any reasonable person could see that children can't consent. And like, yeah, here's another one. End Wokeness said, you know, age 18 to vote, 18 to enlist, 18 to buy a pet. What is it actually? Is there, wait, hold on, wait. Is there anywhere where you have to be 18 to buy an animal? Can you not just like as a child go buy a fish? Like, can you not just buy a beta fish by yourself? Do you genuinely, is that a law? Is there a law about you have to be 18 to buy pets? Or is that just some shit that you made up? It kind of sounds like some shit that you made up. 18 to get a tattoo. Yeah, but except that you can get a tattoo at age 16 with parental consent, If your parent knows you well enough and they know that you're mature enough to make the decision, a parent can allow you to get a frivolous body modification like tattooing, which is not at all the same as medically advisable care from a medical professional who has studied this their entire life. I cannot get any more inside the microphone. Maybe some pet stores have policies to not sell live animals to minors. Sure, but it's not like illegal. Oh my god. My hair ties are falling all over the floor. 18 for a lotto ticket, 18 to sign a contract. Again, I don't know that it's illegal. I'm not sure. Is it illegal for an adult to buy a lotto ticket and then for a kid to scratch it off? Probably. 21 to adopt a child, 21 to buy tobacco, 21 to buy alcohol, 21 to buy weed, 21 to gamble. Kids should not have access to permanent medical procedures in order to, quote, and affirm an identity they will likely outgrow. Like, how about you make a comparison to other types of medical care instead of framing it as, like, frivolous body modification? Like, is there any other diagnosable... Let's even pretend. Let's buy in for a second to the idea that that being trans is a delusion, it's a mental illness, okay? Let's say that it's like schizophrenia. Let's say that it's like psychosis in that it's a mental illness, right? Or like, let's compare it to, I guess, an eating disorder. You know, with an eating disorder, there are... like, therapy is like an option, but a lot of the time you end up in a rehabilitation where they actually, you know, they might give you an infusion of nutrients and then help you get on a schedule with eating while you're in therapy, getting like the mental health treatment to say, like, to affirm, like, you know, where is this eating disorder coming from or whatever. You still treat the medical aspect where you're not eating, right? So with trans people, you do usually have a number of years of therapy involved and the medical treatment at the same time. Is there any other thing where it's harming you and it's harming your health and it's harming your body? Like, do you take someone with an eating disorder and say, you know, you can get therapy, but we're not going to give you the IV infusion of fluids and nutrients for 3 years, let's say, which is what they tried to do in Missouri recently. Like, is there any other form of healthcare where you receive a diagnosis and then they put you in a situation where you have to wait for care? Do you get diagnosed with depression and then you have to wait for 3 years before you start the medication? Like, are you required to do 3 years of therapy before they'll put you on antidepressants? No, usually they throw the drugs at you. Trust me, I spent 7 years having a bunch of different drugs thrown at me before it was discovered that I actually have PTSD and therapy was the way to treat my issue. But we have evidence that treatment for transition, like, of course, you want to have some psychotherapy. Like, you want to help people maybe understand the reasons that they want to transition. That is something that I think can be helpful to clarify things personally, especially because as a non-binary person, me not having therapy actually caused me to start treatment later. Me not having a therapist meant that I didn't have the access to knowledge and information to start hormones at the young age. I was processing all of this by myself. So actually having affirming therapy would have helped me make the choice to start hormones earlier, potentially, or like helped me suss out my feelings about whether I wanted to get top surgery or not. I ended up deciding after many years of thinking about it and trying to figure it out myself that I don't want top surgery. And a therapist would have helped me figure that out sooner instead of me spending like 10 years trying to waffle and figure out my feelings by myself. So like, yeah, you should have access to therapy if that's the thing that you want. However, I knew that I wanted testosterone, and the only thing that could solve that problem was getting the testosterone. Me being in therapy, we would have discovered at the end of the therapy that I wanted to be on testosterone. So that's the purpose of therapy, is to help you decide whether you want those things. People who want you to watch and wait, really what they want you to do is get so far in to your natural puberty that you are not able to transition. They want you to desist. Like, they want you to think that it's too late for you. Like, oh my God, I'm 25, and if I started hormones today, like, oh my God, I'm already balding. My hair will never grow back. There's no way it's doomer. I might as well just repress or lie down and rot. That's what they want. They want there to be fewer trans people. What do all of those things have in common? There is no increased risk of suicide in not being able to get a tattoo or not buy alcohol. I mean, that's another thing too. Yeah, like none of these things are things that people have a demonstrable mental health outcome shift afterwards. Like I mean, yeah, buying a pet can alter your mental health, but it's not like we have a clearly indicated common human experience where you're upset about not having a pet in your home, and there is like a specific correlation between not having a pet and committing suicide, and like thoroughly established decades-long precedent that getting a pet will reduce your rate of suicide significantly. Like, yeah, this is also a crazy comparison to make. As someone with an ED, not all people with EDs enter treatment at that extreme a level that they need tube care. Yes, not all trans people need bottom surgery or they'll commit suicide. You know what I mean? Like, there is levels of extreme. I'm just saying, like, it is a place where mental health care and physical health care is important, and you need to treat both problems at the same time. But you can't deny someone who is malnourished the medical care that will help them get on track. Whatever that is. Repressing due to fearing you've doomed your body by natural puberty going too far is so relatable. Right. It's really harmful. You know, this idea that, oh, your life is over if you don't transition when you're 5 years old. Like that, no. If you're trans and you're worried about that, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can start hormones. You can transition. You might not look like a Barbie doll or you might not look like a Ken doll, but you can still successfully live as your target gender. Like, it's fine. But Elon Musk, if he has a way about it, like, I don't think that any of these people are actually going to stop at adulthood. Because here's the thing. Here was what End Wokeness did. This is already, like, this is an indication of the sliding scale thing that they're going to do. They start at 18. Oh, you know, you have to be 18 to vote. You have to be 21 to buy alcohol. Look at that. There's already a 3-year jump. There's already a 3-year jump where he's saying, like, okay, hold on. Sorry, my camera is going to take a second. Coming back? There's already a 3-year jump here where this guy is saying, look, I am, like, you say 18 now, but you say 21 tomorrow, and then the next time you say 25 because the brain's not even done being developed until age 25, allegedly. And it's just a way of pushing it further and further and further up until you eventually come out completely against trans-related care. Don't tell me it's a slippery slope argument, because it's been happening. Look at my Florida playlist. If you don't believe me, I have an entire list of videos about how it's been incrementally working up in Florida from, oh, you know, we just think that children should be protected from this. You know, you shouldn't learn about trans people. You shouldn't have access to trans-related care. For children, obviously. Oh my God, it's reasonable that children shouldn't be allowed to access this information. And then, oh, you know what? We've just unilaterally decided that transition-related care is not healthcare. And so we've decided that we're just going to take it off of Medicaid. So if you're a trans person in Florida on Medicaid, you don't have the ability to get transition-related care on your insurance. Like, your insurance won't cover it because it's state insurance. And then you have places in Texas where like Texas tried to make it illegal, or maybe they succeeded. I can't even remember at this point. Tried to pass a law that would make it so that private insurance companies would not be allowed to cover transition-related care for adults. They are coming for you. They are coming for your friends. They want adults to no longer have access to care. They're succeeding at preventing adults from having access to care. So if you think Mr. Elon Musk, who is spending his entire goddamn day tweeting about trans people and replying to people about trans folks just constantly, and like talking about Target and putting fucking people in jail, like, they're coming for you. They're not gonna stop until we put a stop to it. Yeah, and of course, Diaphla makes the argument, as we often do, if you really think that children can't consent to gender-affirming puberty, then you should also, like, because of the permanent effects, you should also believe that cis kids should be put on puberty blockers. Like, but that's not the thing. They don't believe that irreversible changes are the problem. They believe that irreversible changes are good if it is going to naturalize you as the gender you were assigned at birth. They think that puberty is a good thing with all of its irreversible changes because, oh, you know, most people are cisgender, and they don't care about the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases that people have to pay for corrective surgeries. And they don't care that a lot of these things aren't correctable. Like, if you grow super tall, what are you gonna do about that? Like, there are some experimental surgeries to make you shorter, but they're dangerous and experimental. So they don't actually care about permanent, irreversible changes. They are explicitly against trans people. They want to force you to be normal. Elon, puberty is good. Also, Elon gets hair transplant. Yeah, and we've pointed that out. They get gender-affirming care all the time. It's considered kind of freakish, but not ideologically unacceptable for cisgender men to get surgery to make themselves taller. That's a thing now. That experimental surgeries to make you taller, or like hair transplants, which are a regular thing, boob jobs. Nobody is out here campaigning against cis women getting boob jobs, or frankly, against anyone getting nose jobs, which have one of the highest regret rates of cosmetic surgeries. No one is saying you need to go to a therapist for 3 years in order to get a nose job. Nobody cares about that because they specifically don't like trans people, and they will be hypocritical in every conceivable way. Because fundamentally, like I don't even know that there is a point to pointing out these hypocrisies, because they will just find a way to weasel out of it, because they've already written their conclusion. They've written their conclusion, and that's that gender-affirming care for trans people is wrong, and anything that cisgender people do is good and correct. Mutilating children, quote unquote, is bad when trans people are getting life-saving surgeries, but it is it's a bad thing when trans people are doing it, but it's a good thing when we sterilize intersex children because we claim that their totally healthy internal gonads are going to become cancerous someday. Like, I know of a person who was given a vaginoplasty at age 12, and nobody told her what was happening. They told her that she was having like a bladder surgery or something. Like, her parents allowed her to have a vaginoplasty because this child had a vaginal canal that was too short for her future husband. So they did corrective surgery on her, on them. Sorry. Like, I'm sure that the doctors would have said her because they were trying to normalize this child as a female. Like, they removed the child's internal testicles, and then the kid got osteoporosis in their late teens because they didn't know that they needed to be on hormones after having their gonads removed. Like, they had a clitorectomy where their clitoris was, quote, too big, and it was cut off. Like, it was cut to make it smaller. And so, yeah, mutilation on children is a good thing when you're correcting intersex kids and you're cutting off the tips of penises because Dr. Kellogg convinced you that masturbation is bad. Those are all good things. Those are all great. It's a problem that we've medicalized the talk about transition because a lot of propaganda from the right hinges on weird misunderstandings of kids being transitioned and treated to achieve some outcome. These people are also against social transition. These are the kind of people who also think that you should not let a young kid cut their hair. Like, a little girl needs to have long hair. If that little girl says she wants a boy's haircut, that's bad. You should not allow her to. Or if a little boy wants to grow out their hair, you shouldn't allow it. Yeah, Pigeon is the name of the person on... I follow them on Twitter. This is that intersex person, by the way. They've written a memoir recently. If you want to check out their YouTube channel, let me see if their YouTube channel is on their links. This is Pidge. They're an intersex activist. Like, they had surgery done on them, multiple surgeries that they were not able to consent to try to normalize their body. And, like, yeah, they talk about it on YouTube. They talk about it on Twitter. And a lot of the time, those surgical records are sealed. And as an intersex person, you can't even access the surgical record of what was done to you. How do you even find that the vaginal canal is too short in a 12-year-old anyway? Pelvic exams. Like, well, this child was born intersex, and, like, they had their gonads removed when they were younger, and so it probably would have been regularly checked on, like, you know, oh, pelvic exams, we got to check and make sure that you're developing okay. We're going to make sure you're not going to get cancer, and then lie to you as a child and tell you we're doing a bladder, like a bladder surgery, and actually we're going to make your vagina deeper. These fascists are unreachable, but I mean all the worried bystanders get tricked by the specific ways they talk about trans kids like they're not agents. They actually are. Yeah, that's true. Like, children are fully capable of making informed decisions. Children weigh in on whether they are on what kind of chemotherapy they want when they are diagnosed with cancer. Like, children weigh in on what their options are in getting surgery. We let kids become ballerinas even if they are gonna permanently have messed up ankle bones. Oh yeah, Diaphala points out that denying a trans kid a medical transition is the same as forcibly transitioning them, and normal people would not support doing that if they understood it clearly. Like, if we were to say, you know, this parent forced their little boy to grow out their hair long. Like, they forced their little boy to wear dresses. Obviously that sounds terrible, but when it's a trans boy, that's acceptable to them. It's acceptable to take a young child who knows that they are a boy and force them to wear a dress to put them in a certain gendered box. That is a good thing, according to these people. The idea, yeah, like, if it were a cis kid who was, like, a little girl, and you forced her to cut her hair into a boy's haircut and told her that she was a boy, that would be obviously horrendous. But if you do it to a trans girl, if you force the trans girl to get a haircut, and you force her to throw away the dolls that she got for Christmas, that would obviously be torture. You would clearly see that it is unacceptable to do that to a child. But when your position is that being trans is fucked up and being cis is good and normal, then of course you're gonna have that position. We call it Gillick competence in the UK. Yeah, the Gillick competency, that you know, you can demonstrate as someone who's under the age 18 that you understand the kind of healthcare that you're getting. You understand what you're gonna be getting into. My grandma was literally forced to wear her hair long as a kid. They do that to cis kids too. Yeah, of course, they're against gender nonconformity in general. So Elon Musk, who is against trans kids getting access to care, who wants to bet that his daughter, I mean, this is fucked up, I guess, like, his trans daughter, who wants to bet that she was circumcised when she was born, though? Like, who wants to bet that he had his kid circumcised, but then is now against the idea of affirming consensual surgery? My partner is cis femme and their family literally burned their girl toys when they were a young teen. What the fuck? Yeah. TLDR, trans kids know who they are. This is hypocritical nonsense. It is crazy that we are constantly attacking the competency of children as though they don't understand the consequences of their actions. You can explain to a child what's going to happen to their body and have them understand and be able to consent to it. If you are an adult who knows that child and you're working with a team of medical professionals who know children in general, they know these illnesses in general. Like, they understand comorbidities. They can tell the difference. Like, the therapists that these kids are seeing can tell the difference between a kid who is seeking attention and a kid who has earnest, continued, like, discomfort or incongruence with their gender. That's what the process is for. When you see that statistic that says 80% of trans kids grow out of it, that's because that statistic is of all of the kids who were brought in to be checked out. Like, all of the kids who were questioning their gender. It was determined through the process of checking which ones actually need that medical care. They were able to determine that 80% of them did not need that medical care. That, like, it's not that 80% of people who identify as trans grow out of it. It's that a certain number of kids might question, and their parents might be aware and concerned enough to take them to get checked out. And then they determine through the process that those kids don't need transition-related care. And the 20% who do go on puberty blockers, they generally continue on in their care and go on to hormones later because the process works as intended to discriminate and delineate between kids who don't actually need that access to care and kids who do. In my own family, I have 2 younger siblings. Well, I have 3, but let's just only focus on the 2. The youngest one of those was vocally gender questioning when she was a little kid, and has now kind of seemed to settle into being cisgender, and that's totally cool. The older one did not have any questions about gender when they were younger, at least as far as we knew, and is now trans-identifying as an older teenager. Like, in my own family, you can see that, yes, sometimes gender questioning results in realizing that you're just cisgender, and sometimes gender questioning results in you realizing that you are trans and you do need to transition, and that's why the medical people get involved, is to be able to help you determine, okay, my child is expressing this, and we are trying to understand it. Can you help us understand it? That's what the professional process is. Some of these studies, it's not even kids who were questioning, but people who also just played with the wrong toys, and so they were just brought in to be assessed because of that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Me personally, I did not have gender dysphoria before puberty, but all of a sudden male puberty hit. That's when I started having problems with my body, and that's when dysphoria started to be good. That's, yeah, like dysphoria started to be not so good. True, me as well, Missy. In retrospect, when I was a little kid, there were signs that I was not cisgender, but as it didn't really hit me like a truck until I had breasts and was on my period and stuff. Like, that's when the conflict was more clear. In my case, I didn't think about gender and was probably agender before puberty, and only later did I start to recognize gender dysphoria with the visible changes in your body. Yeah, that's totally normal. When you're a younger kid, it's less of a big deal for you to be sort of gender nonconforming, right? And we should allow that. We should allow gender exploration in young kids because it's fine. Because being trans is okay. Because being trans can even be a good thing. When you accept yourself and you're in society and you're just going about your life and you're going about your day, you're healthy. Like, that's a good thing for you. But it's the worst possible outcome to these people. It just doesn't matter how much data there is. They will claim that the data is faulty, and then they will in turn use faulty, biased data and completely not see the irony in it and make our lives worse and restrict access to our care until someone stops them. And I don't know how that's going to happen exactly, but it's going to need to happen at some point because the direction that we're going is increasingly not good. I've been talking for over a year now about how this is a genocide. This is like, you could call it the lead up to a genocide if you want, but people are already dying. People have already committed suicide because their access to care has been cut off or because of the hatred against trans people in public. People are dying already. This is a war. This is a war of attrition, a genocide by attrition. They're trying to starve us out slowly by denying our access to medical care, by refusing to give us basic dignity in our documentation and in our interpersonal lives. Like, they want us to be dead, and they are succeeding so far. So rule number 1, Demon Mama has said it, I will continue saying it, don't die. That's your one job. You have one job, and that is to not die. We're gonna make it through this somehow, one way or another. As a community, we will make it through, and we will lose people. We have lost people, and we will still lose people. Your job is to be there for them before they're gone. We gotta pull together as a community. No fighting in June. We're not doing bi-lesbian discourse. We're not doing kink at pride discourse. Knock it off. Get it together. We have an enemy, and we need to be cohesive against that enemy. Okay, that's the end of the segment. No discourse. No discourse allowed. No kink at pride discourse. That's not family when they literally burn all of your toys. Yeah. Why do people burn gender-affirming toys of kids? And we're talking about even the ones that are like, yeah, like cis femme child had their, or do you mean cis woman? Or are you saying like your partner is a trans femme? Oh, okay. Your partner is a trans femme and their family burned all of their girl toys when they were a young teen. It's just so messed up. Like, imagine hating your child so much that you would burn their toys. Holy fucking shit. But yeah, that's the main segment about Elon Musk. Adults do it to each other too, like burning computers and electronics as a way to, quote, fight someone's addictions. I saw a post on Reddit. I'm getting ready for the next segment, by the way. I'll get my notes together. I saw a thing on Reddit that was a "Am I the asshole?" And the mom said, like, her 13-year-old daughter was on her period and came in to yell at the 9-year-old son who was playing Fortnite with his friends and being kind of loud. So the sister was just kind of randomly a jerk to the brother for being loud. And then the brother, I guess, decided to be a little shit and went and took all of the sanitary supplies and threw them away. And then when the daughter went to go change her pad or whatever, she didn't have any more of the, she didn't have any more pads, and so got upset. And then the mom went and took the Switch that the son was playing on and threw it in the trash. It's like, okay, I wonder where your son learned it. I wonder where your son learned to retaliate against people doing things by throwing shit in the trash. Like, stupid. Where did you get that top? This is a dress, actually. This is like a dress that I got on Amazon. Let me see if I can. Here. It's a dress. You know? And normally, wow, I just hit my desk. Normally, I wear a petticoat under it, but I'm sitting at my desk, so I don't need to be wearing a petticoat. Destroying property of your child in a fit of rage, the ancient way of the narcissistic parent. Yeah, the husband was like, the husband pulled the Switch out of the trash and said, "Okay, son, you're grounded," and told the mom that she went too far. Like, imagine spending 300 of your own dollars on your child's toy and then throwing it away instead of like selling it, which the mom did she did later. She was like, "Oh, we should sell it. Can you post a link?" I mean, just look up like retro vintage dresses on Amazon, and there are a lot of options like this, like rockabilly vintage dress. Those are the keywords. Thank you all so much. I love wearing dresses. They make me feel so pretty. And you know, the easy access is not something I'm going to complain about. The son should have been grounded, but not had his Switch destroyed. Yeah, the mom tried to say, well, we should at least sell it. Like, I can understand not throwing it away, but we should sell it. That the brother even knew to do that is really strange. Not just throwing stuff away, but specifically throwing away period products during someone's period. Yeah, and it's like, how did you as a mother manage to, like, your son understands the physical mechanism. Maybe he was just told, these are your sisters, don't touch them. Or something like that. But, like imagine teaching your son that, that there's, like, the physical aspect of periods, but not explaining to your son that his sister is going to be a little bit more sensitive and that he should give her a little bit of leeway. Because what happened is the sister was just a dick to him for no reason, from his perspective. Just came and yelled at him for being loud on the Switch. And, like, instead of having a conversation and explaining to the son, your sister has a headache right now. Your sister is on her period and has a headache right now, because that can happen. So maybe, can you just bring the volume down so that your sister can get a nap in, you know, that's why she was upset with you. She's more physically vulnerable right now than she normally is. But instead, no. We solve the problem by taking a $300 piece of equipment and throwing in the trash. Like, can you imagine, like, this is like a $300 piece of equipment, and I'm just gonna, like, huck it in the garbage? Are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. Okay, now can I manage to get this back on the platform? Okay, I did it. I put it back on the charger. Been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom lately, y'all. It's fun. Can confirm dresses are awesome, especially in hot summer weather. I'm literally wearing a dress because it's too hot to wear fucking pants in my house right now. Like, my house, the air conditioner is running fucking constantly because it is like, my house is old and it's not very well insulated, so it's just really warm in here. And it's not cooling off at night in the way that I need it to. It is such a bummer. We're at 86 likes, y'all. Are we gonna be able to get to 100 likes before the end of the stream? If not, I'm not gonna complain too much, but it is nice that it's been happening more regularly lately. My goal for the stream is to have 100 viewers on our normal political streams. Right now, we're settling like 50, 60 people in our streams a lot of the time. Sometimes it goes up to 100. That's kind of not super often, but that's my goal as a streamer. I don't even have a subscriber goal at this point. I don't care about that as much. I care about having people here to hang out with us, having the conversation, going over the news together, having fun together. That's what we're here for. I love dresses, but I need my pocketses. My dress that I wore yesterday has pockets. Is it even? No, it's not in here anymore. I took it back to my bedroom nook. You are now in my rotation of comfort streamers to help with my anxiety. Thank you, Halo Ben. That's so awesome. I'm so glad. Did you just come over because, like, you saw me in Zan's chat recently, or did you see me on, like, your YouTube page? I'm curious. I want to know how new people are coming in, because I want to go find more people and bring them in and become part of the horde. I really need to increase the dragon branding on the channel, because I don't mention it often enough. I am the dragon. You are the horde. Welcome in. I was looking at these makeups that we were talking about a while ago, because I've done scale makeup on my face before during stream. If you've been here for it, we do that sometimes. And I'm like trying to figure out, if I were to buy one of these, what's the color? Like, what color? What color shift? I watched your talk with Trans Cat Dad. Oh, that's awesome. I like Oliver. I like Ollie. He's cool. I've randomly seen him on Reddit recently, which is awesome. The dragon emojis are super cute. But, like, if I were to do the scale makeup on stream more often, I'm not sure which of these color shift palettes I want to go with. I could make you a stream border with a dragon motif. Rotsoi, yeah, I would be interested in that. For sure. Like, we can discuss what kind. That would be neat, though. I want this window to have one. This is most important to me, is having this window around me. Although I do like how, you know, Demon Mama has her whole overlay. I'm not sure if because Vosh's is, like, downplayed. Vosh has, like, a thing around him, but when he's full screen, there's no accoutrement. And when Demon Mama is full screen, like I am now, she's got, like, the thing around, and I don't know if I want the thing around for the whole stream. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe the thing around for the whole stream and a miniature version for when I'm tiny, and maybe a different overlay for when I've got a video on screen. Anyway, you like what? I like Nirvana most. Yeah, Nirvana is like, what does it say? Shifts dark green, green, blue, silver. I like either Nirvana or Seaside. Seaside is shifts green, teal, blue. Because, you know, it's black and green. The website is black and green. I have, the whole website is black and green because of the agender flag. It's like white and gray and black. I could just do a bottom border that's a pile of treasure so it looks like you're a dragon in a horde. I don't think I want to go quite that far. I guess I like the idea of there being, like, a sort of scaly border. Like, I guess almost like how a Chinese dragon has, like, the kind of curves to it, but then with, like, the dragon spikes. And then maybe in one of the corners, maybe in a couple of the corners, it has like a green eye. I was trying to mess around with Illustrator. I was dicking around in Adobe Illustrator the other day, trying to block it out and try to get the stuff to that. But I actually do love the idea of, if I'm in the corner up here, I kind of like the idea that the border around me would have a little green eyeball. Like, I guess it would be here in this corner, like down here in the, maybe slightly over the edge of the corner of the screen, like right there. That would be fun. Anyway, sometimes we just kind of go off on a tangent in between other subjects. Personally, I love Rebel Girl. Purple to green blue is my vibe. Yeah, it's just so Joker. I feel like red and green is a great color combo, but it also screams Joker, and I don't know if that's what I want. But if I were to just do scales on the side of my face, and they were gonna be like shimmery when I moved back and forth, I don't know. I've had this page open for forever. Someone mentioned this to me months ago. Just harass me on Discord or something and we can talk art? Okay. Yeah, I will, I'll make a note to message you. I need to message Violet, and I need to message Rotsoy. Yes. I found out about you from the Calvin Guerra drama. I found you through your old explaining non-binary video. I can't remember how I found you. I saw one of your older essay vids while looking for something else when I intentionally subbed, and before that I heard your name in Zan's stream. Nice! Yeah. I've realized that it would probably be beneficial to me to hang out in other streamers' chats every once in a while, just to, like, say hello, and, you know, remind people that I exist, sort of, and become friendly with people in the chat. Found you through the ContraPoints vid. True. We have fun. We have fun. These are only $16. Why is it taking me such a long time to buy one of these? It's because I can't decide which one it is. This is taxable, or I can write this off on my taxes. I could even get more than one. But I'm sort of choosing, I guess, between Nirvana and Seaside. There's also several on here that aren't in the pictures. Because there's like 9 pictured. There's 7 here, and then there's 8 and 9. But there's like 12 listed over here. So Junebug shifts green, gold, orange, blue. I don't know what that looks like. Gravity. Yeah, Gravity is this one. Cosmic Aurora. Intergalactic shifts blue, pink, purple, green, yellow. Wow, that's wild. I found you through Demon Mama, but I've lurked till now. What's up, Witch Knight Melody? I love lurkers. Yeah, the anger emote. We love lurkers, and we love the imps. We are the himpies. When you're a fan of Demon Mama and Luxander, it's the himpies. I found you because my recommended kept showing me this snazzy person talking about queer things, and I finally said, fuck it, I'll give them a try. Now I'm here, offering to be an art slut. Awesome. I found you through Calvin Guerra, too. Did you find me because you watched Calvin Guerra's content? It's so funny that that actually benefited my career a tiny bit. That people were like, oh, I saw that Calvin was talking about you, but you were much more reasonable than some of the other people that he was attacking, and so that's what helped me realize that Calvin sucked. I'm mostly a lurker. What's up, Gloria? We appreciate the lurkers. You're still here. The quiet part of the crowd is still part of the crowd, you know? We appreciate you. I am out of water. Ripping pieces. But I've already gotten up a couple times in this stream, and I don't... Okay, I'm gonna run and get water. I'll be really fast. Oh my god, I'll be so fast like Sonic, you won't even see me. I told you I'd be back really fast. I need to get a, like, a big thing of water that I can just keep at my desk so that I don't have to keep running to the sink. Oh my god, water is so good. I wonder if Buck Angel will ever support trans kids again. He can't. Oh my god. Camera, please. Please. I love you. I love you. Please. Please. Stop. Turning off randomly. I love you so much. What do y'all think of Buck Angel? Smash, date, or pass? Hardcore pass. He is the worst. I watched one video of Calvin Guerra, the one he made about you, the "You Can Stop Tea" video, and he was so rude that I felt like I'd rather listen to the cute NB than the rude guy. I appreciate it. Amazing. Okay, we have the one more news to talk about, and then we have a fun reaction to do. So we're gonna be here for at least another hour. If you have not yet hit like on the video, hit like on the video. We'll get a couple more people in here. We'll start talking about the title, the drag ban. Calvin Guerra led me to Lux. I mean, yeah, I should send him a little appreciation note one of these days and let him know that he helped my career. What a sweetheart. Like, what a sweet man. I would honestly smash Buck Angel. No. No. He's not attractive to me in the way that men are attractive. Like, he's too bulky and it's kind of gross to me. And, like, yeah, no. Absolutely not. Not only is Buck Angel cruel like Blair White, but also denigrates himself and his transness to appease the right wing. He's a really disgusting person, and he always has been. He like outed, I think it was Lana Wachowski back in the 90s. Because he was not happy about the fact that his wife left him to be with Lana Wachowski, I think is what happened. Or was it Lily? I do not know. They both chose names that start with L, and that was a pretty big L. He looks like Popeye. Lol. Oh my god. Yeah, Buck is just not an attractive person to me. Even when you're talking about, like, older men being attractive, like, I'm literally more attracted to Rhett McLaughlin from Good Mythical Morning than I am attracted to Buck Angel. Do y'all know what Rhett McLaughlin looks like? I guess we need recent pictures, because the older pictures, I would say he is not as attractive with the way his hair used to be. But, like, I am more attracted to this 45-year-old man than I am to Buck Angel. Let's see. Let's find the nicest picture of Buck Angel that we can find. Like, I don't know. Take your pick. Like, Buck Angel is not at all attractive to me compared to someone like Rhett McLaughlin. Like, I don't know what I'm revealing about myself right now. I'm not saying that Rhett is my type, but I'm saying that, like, I'm like, this is just another older man who I can think of who I'm like, yeah, no, he's good. And then there's Buck Angel, who is just, like, very cringe, in my humble opinion. He did a talk at Verminhand's school in which he showed his own pornography without warning anyone beforehand. Dude, what? Oh my god. So Buck Angel, like, showed porn. Was it even an 18-plus event? Like, I mean, I guess if it was in college, then there would be the assumption that there would not be anyone under the age. Okay. Buck has an unkind face. Yeah, he just kind of looks like he just looks like someone who's gonna steal from you. He looks like a line cook who's gonna steal money from your kid's piggy bank in order to buy Coke. Like, that's who Buck Angel looks like to me. Am I wrong here? He looks like the line cook who is on cocaine and who steals from your kid to get it. Like, I don't know, man. He did out one of the Transformers ladies. Oh, did he do it more than once? I've never met anyone who viewed Buck's porn unironically. I just don't... Yeah, it's not for me. It's not what I would be into. Oh my god, my hair is all tangled right now. Why are you doing this to me? How could you do this to me? Why? I have a knot in my hair and I don't know where it is. Stop it. This is a bad sensation for me. Okay, I fixed it. Jesus. He looks like a neo-Nazi. He looks a little bit like a skinhead. Like a little bit like a skinhead. It's almost parody. True. I would totally smash Rhett over Buck Angel. I should have known better than to get attached to Buck Angel when I had a trans medicalist friend who supports non-binary and trans people who don't want medical transition saying, I don't like Buck Angel. Wait, how is your friend a trans med if they support non-binary and trans people who don't want medical transition? I thought that trans medicalism was the idea that in order to be valid as a trans person, you needed to at least want all of the hormones and surgeries, even if you can't get them for some reason. I'm so late, but I'm finally here. Welcome, Uncomfortable. Well, the great thing is, Uncomfortable, that we've been talking about news all stream. Basically, we've talked about 3 different news items, and we're about to get to the 4th one, which is the title. So if you came here to learn how a drag ban has affected a transgender speaker who is not doing a drag performance, you're just in time. Just in time. Missy, you're getting a little too graphic for me thinking about Buck Angel. I don't want to think about Buck Angel in a pornographic way, even though that's what he does for a living. Man. All right, let me clear out some of these tabs that I don't need anymore. Tabs that I don't need. All right, I don't need Elon Musk anymore. No one needs Elon Musk anymore. Jesus Christ. Yuck, Angel. True! Oh my god. I mean, yeah, it's funny that I don't want to think about Buck Angel in a sexual context because that's what he does for a living. I'm like, no, it's such a turnoff. Seeing Buck Angel's porn would be like, it's like when you're watching a regular porn and suddenly there's like foot stuff and you're like, no, I'm out. If I was just scrolling through the timeline and I saw Buck Angel porn, it would be an immediate boner killer. I would be like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm like, I will take care of this later. I can't relate to that because I like feet. Okay, it would be like if you're watching regular porn and then suddenly there's scat and you're like, oh god. Man. Although I think I did realize that, like, I think that I used to feel opposed to the idea of even playing into someone I love's foot fetish. But, like, I think now, if that were a thing in my life, and it probably will never be, but I think that maybe I could find it fun for the other person. But also, like, you're gonna need to wash your junk before it goes anywhere near my junk if there's been feet around it, you know? That's a for sure. Yeah. What was Buck Angel doing when I was a kid in the aughts? I mean, he was getting fucked in porn for sure. Like, that's what he would do. Is Buck Angel's whole thing also that he's like a dude with a pussy? Like, so all of the porn he does, he bottoms, right? I would honestly be more into Buck Angel porn if he were strapped up, you know? There's a very small group of trans medicalists that feel that though being transgender is primarily a medical issue, they believe that you need to have either gender dysphoria or euphoria to be a trans person, which means that personal and social transition still qualifies as transitioning to them. Okay, so, okay, I can kind of see that. That your transness is still a medical thing, but that the treatment for that medical thing could be just social transition would be, like, that is still a significant type of treatment. My fear would be hand, foot, and mouth disease. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if my feet touch your dick, then you need to wash that dick before it comes anywhere near any of my other orifices. Like, yeah, no, yeah, not a mermaid. Buck Angel's whole thing is that he's a dude with a pussy. He won't get phalloplasty because he talks shit about phalloplasty all the time. He's one of those kind of trans people who's like, it's never gonna be like a real dick, you know? And his whole shtick is being like a man with a pussy. So, yeah. It's not like he can't afford the surgeries. Exactly. He could definitely get the surgery. I would almost respect him more if he got phalloplasty. He's an artifact of his generation, the older trans people. I guess. But there are trans people his same age who came from the same type of culture who aren't awful people. Anyway. Whatever floats your boat. All right, Missy. All right, all right. Okay, we're getting ready to talk about the title issue. So if you're just coming in, hit like. If you're on your way out, still hit like. We'll get this rolling. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button and you've clicked the bell just in case you want to be here for our future streams or catch my videos when they upload. Join the Discord server. if you want to get reliable updates and have some chit-chat in between streams, always a good time. We've been talking about anti-drag bans for the better part of a year now. Lots of places are passing laws now or attempting to pass laws now. The law that was passed in Tennessee has been struck down in the courts now, so that's a little bit of good news at the beginning of this segment, talking about some bad news. In some places in the country, it's okay to wear drag, even when they're trying to pass these laws. In some places in the country, drag bans are in effect or about to be in effect and are still being enforced. One of those places is Montana. I believe that the bill in Montana has been signed into law, but it has not gone into effect yet. Whenever a law is passed, generally there is a start date. For example, the law in Kansas saying that I'm not allowed to use the bathroom anymore. It doesn't actually go into effect until July 1st. But the law in but there are already situations where people are being bothered. An adult woman with her adult disabled son getting removed from the women's bathroom, probably in violation of the ADA. The law hasn't even gone into effect yet. So similar thing in Montana. They've passed a drag ban. I believe the governor has signed it, and it is not in effect yet for a couple more months. But we have already had a trans person who is not a drag queen, not a drag king, not a drag show at all, just a trans person who presumably is like, maybe they were assigned something at birth and now they're dressing in a way that is different to that. We're already having issues crop up. So I just want to show you, the law itself a little bit first. This is kind of the generally like, okay, a drag king is a male or female performer who adopts a flamboyant or parodic male persona with glamorous or exaggerated costumes and makeup. Drag queen is the same thing, but a feminine persona. A drag story hour means an event hosted by a drag queen or king who reads children's books and engages in other learning activities with minor children present. So this is kind of some of the language in the law. The thing that they're trying to prevent is drag story hours. Drag queens and drag kings around children. What has happened is that a trans speaker in general has had their event canceled ahead of an event. So there was a First Friday speaker. I believe this was at a library. They've been canceled due to recent legislation and at the request of the county legal counsel. Regretting to announce the cancellation of our highly anticipated speaker in response to recent legislation, our commitment to providing inclusivity and intellectual exploration remains, but not in violation of law. Again, a law that is not in a... sorry, come on, camera. I'm in the middle of talking. Can you please stop? I'm in the fucking middle of talking. Excuse me? I'm literally in the middle of talking. Are you gonna come back someday? Or are you just not gonna even come back on this time? Okay, cool. I'm literally in the middle of talking. Okay. I'm trying to do a segment. Thanks. Yeah, pretty sure the law hasn't even gone into effect yet, but legal counsel recommends that they not do it. What's First Friday? I'm not sure. It's some local thing. So here we go. Someone reported the speaker as, quote, a transsexual reading to kids. This is the first time the anti-drag laws have been used to bar trans entertainers, speakers, and performers. So here's the message. There is a transsexual reading to children at the public library on Friday the 2nd. The, quote, performer has posted on Twitter that it will be discussing sexual acts and there may be children there. I use its pronouns because those are the pronouns that I like the best, but let's not pretend like that wasn't dehumanization in a fucked up way. There's a difference between a little mild dehumanization for fun when you prefer its pronouns, like myself, but it's different when it's being used maliciously. It's kind of like I identify as queer, but when I hear a pastor say, those queers are out here, like I know that that's a hate crime waiting to happen, you know? So let's not pretend. This is illegal under Montana state law now. Will the local police be allowing this to happen? And then a picture of a Twitter screenshot and I will def have a book, and sexuality will be discussed, and minors may be present. So this person is talking about how they may be impacted by this. So this person says sexual acts. This letter is claiming that the trans person said that they will be discussing sexual acts, but they didn't say that. They said that they would be discussing sexuality, which sexuality includes holding hands and kissing and stuff that's very, very PG stuff that you can do in public. Look, like, that obfuscation, like, I'm so angry about it that I don't even know how to articulate. Like, I don't even think I'm coming across as angry because I just don't even know how to process my emotions right now. Like, that our words will be twisted, that the reading comprehension, it's like, is the reading comprehension so bad that you, like, I'm surprised that you're able to wipe your ass by yourself kind of moment. But, like, is it that you're that stupid? You know, is the problem that you were dropped on your head too many times as a child? Or is it that you don't care about what's true and you will deliberately pretend and lie like this person did not say, I'm going to be discussing sexual acts. Sexual acts, distinct from sexuality. But of course, you can lie about people and just make shit up. And you will get their talk canceled. Here, look. Canceled. Oh, and here's the cherry on top. This presenter is Cheyenne. Like, they are Native American. They're a journalist and fiction writer. And this was a talk about the history of Two-Spirit and LGBT people in Montana. So this was a Native American person, Cheyenne, talking about Two-Spirit and LGBT history and having their talk canceled because they are a transsexual. Like, they're not a drag queen. They're not a drag king. This does not fall under the purview of a flamboyant or parodic feminine persona with glamorous or exaggerated costumes and makeup. That's not what this person is. That's not what this person is doing. They're not putting on a gender performance. They just exist as a trans person, and yet their existence in public is being criminalized. Pretty sure this is a violation of religious freedoms by the Republican definitions of it. Right, like, are the religious practices of indigenous people protected? Like, Two-Spirit could be considered an aspect of their religious expression. Canceling their speaking is a violation of religious freedom. It'll be interesting to see if that's how this plays out. But here's the thing that I want you to take away from this, is that all of these issues, transphobia, sexism, racism, they are tied in, because this is not just a transphobic cancellation. This is a racist cancellation. This is racist against Native American people, because white folks are the ones who inflicted the idea of a gender binary on a bunch of cultures of color, on a bunch of people who had alternate views on sexual orientation and gender identity, etc., where being Two-Spirit is holy. It's like divine, according to certain Native American groups. And there's like just gunk in the back of my nose that is blocking my ability to talk a little bit. The allergies are killing it this year. None of these issues are extricable from each other. You cannot disentangle racism from transphobia. The law probably doesn't say drag. This is I'm showing you the law. This is what this is. This is from the actual thing. This is definitions, section 1. Someone took this screenshot on their phone, I think, but this is from the actual bill. It says drag. And it says performing in a parodic persona with glamorous or exaggerated costumes and makeup. This is the actual law. So it definitely does not apply. Like, this person is clearly not a drag queen. They are just a trans person. Like, none of this says drag performance in this picture. I hope that the speaker files a lawsuit. I hope so too. I really do hope so. Oh my God. So it's just a racist and transphobic canceling of someone's free speech. Not just someone's free speech, but an educator. An educator who is saying, look, I'm a historian. Let me tell you about the history of my people. Let me talk to you about how colonial expansion in America killed the whole concept of two-spirit culture for such a long time. They would force the little boys to cut their hair, so of course they're not going to be accepting of two-spirit identities within the native population. Like, and when I say they made little boys cut off their hair, I mean the white people who invaded this land and stole the children and forced them to go to boarding schools where they had the language and the religion beaten out of them, and they were often like starved and beaten to death and raped and killed. And there are mass graves filled with the bones of children who were genocided effectively. And we are continuing to this day to destroy Native American culture. We are continuing to this day to criminalize their existence because their customs of acknowledging genders and sexualities beyond the binary are offensive to the white colonial sensibilities. On a podcast called Ebony and Irony, there's an episode where Tuesday Thomas talks about how it's absolutely rooted in racism, about Nazis erasing trans history and documentation. Same thing happening. Yeah. It's like racist and it's a Jewish conspiracy, which is another like anti-Semitism is a form of racism. So like, yeah, the idea that this is influencing your children, trying to steal your kids, like, same thing has been said about Jewish people. Same thing has been said about gay men. Like, it's really messed up. And we knew that this was going to happen. Like, this is not a surprise, y'all. We knew that it was going to apply to any trans person who tries to speak and perform in public. A transgender person who is dressed like a normal man or woman doing a comedy show, gonna be policed like that. Gonna be shut down. Excuse me. Literally, yes, exactly. Anything they can get away with toward the goal of total genocide. Like, they might not even have the goal of total genocide. Like, so long as we have a little bit of genocide. So long as they kill a decent number of the people. So the way this went down was the venue wanted to host this person, and then some dumbass sent a letter going, but they trans though, and then they talked to a lawyer and canceled the talk. Did I get that right? This is at a public library, so I believe what happened is that some asshole got in touch with the city council or something along those lines, or maybe the mayor's office, and then the county sought legal advice, and the county determined that this could be a legal liability for them. And that's why they chose to cancel the talk. Again, I'm pretty sure the law hasn't even passed yet. Or sorry, the law has passed. Let me start that over. I'm pretty sure, again, that this law has passed, but it has not gone into effect yet. And yet there is already enforcement of this. I think people don't understand the modern definitions of genocide, so it's hard to convince them. It's not even the modern definition of genocide, Nikki. If you go look at the original UN definition, it does not mean only when all of the people have died, only when you put all the people in camps. It's like creating conditions that are unlivable and making attempts to reduce numbers in the group. You don't have to outright be killing people. You don't have to outright be demonizing them and putting them in camps. You can just create unlivable circumstances like starving them out or denying them access to medical care, and or the cultural genocide. It's like that's a meaningless distinction because cultural genocide also just fits into the definition of normal genocide when you try to steal their children and force them not to be the kind of people that they are. Like when you take Mexican children away from migrants and you put them in white families where they lose their language and they lose their culture, even if you hand the kid back a few years later, that kid is disconnected from their culture. Like, kill the Indian, save the man was the idea behind the boarding schools. They would take the child away, they would take the language away, they would take the religion away, and then you send the kid back, and you have a kid who can't even talk to their grandparents. because they don't speak the same language. So now you've got, like, within the space of 1 or 2 generations, you've killed meaningfully the participation in the group. Like, they are not really participating in the group of being Native American anymore. The UN definition doesn't allow for sexual minority as a grouping. There is a more updated definition, and it does include political groups. But, like, I really get big fucking mad when people quibble about which groups count, because it's like, okay, if, you know, you can't say that it's only intrinsic traits because religion is protected. Also, they didn't just take religion away, they replaced it with their religion or brainwashed them into believing they are the same religion. Right, yeah, it's not just that you cleaned the kid's brain out, you also injected a bunch of other stuff into their brain. So many Choctaw people are white nowadays because our ancestors were bought and sold as wives to white colonists so that the, quote, Indian savage could be bred out of our people. What they don't realize is that you can't breed out culture. We're still fucking here. True. Yeah, Two-Spirit would absolutely count as racial genocide. These issues are not, it's not possible to disconnect them from each other. The racism and the transphobia, they go hand in hand. So I guess good luck in the courts. It's the only thing. The drag ban in Tennessee was not upheld, and so we're just gonna have to see more appeals. We're gonna have to see more action in the courts, and like hope, I guess, that it gets settled in the lower courts and it doesn't continue to get appealed up to the Supreme Court, because I really don't trust the Supreme Court. And, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. Clearly, the free speech of this person has already been infringed upon. But hopefully we can get some recompense afterwards. Stuff like this is why queer folks stood with First Nations on the water fights. These issues are all connected for sure. Yeah. We cannot stand alone. Every one of these issues is connected. You know, white queer people have to fight for black rights in general. Black people have to fight for queer rights in general. The goal is to erase any group that won't vote for them. Exactly. All right, well, that's the news for today. We're not done with the stream, though. The next thing that we're going to do is fun, okay? So if you stuck it out for me through all of the annoying shit, thank you so much for being here. If you're enjoying hanging out and you haven't dropped a dono before, consider dropping me a $5 dono, or maybe subscribing for $1 a month on Patreon or something like that. It's super useful. This is my job. I just paid rent. I know you all just paid rent too. I owe a lot in taxes from last year, and I'm running a GoFundMe to try to pay off my taxes. If you want to contribute, if you want to share your tax return with someone who owes twice as much taxes as you do, because I don't have an employer who pays half of my Social Security and Medicaid tax, thank you. I appreciate it. It's not necessary. This show is still free. It will continue to be free and viewer supported. Thank you so much. There's some Slay the Dragon. I'm not doing Slay the Dragon. Slay the Dragon is a specific segment that I don't just tack on to the end of streams. I have a 20-minute video that I plan to respond to. I think this might be one that you posted, Violet, actually. Or maybe Mama Mephistopheles posted it in the Discord. We have the stream recommendations channel. And this is just it's a fun video we're gonna watch of a cis guy getting into drag. Becoming a drag queen for the purposes of exploration and for learning on the video. So that's what we're gonna do now. This is not gonna be a segment on the channel. We're just gonna be having fun and laughing and enjoying the sort of culture distinctions between a British cishet man and coming into contact with the trans community and the drag community, drag culture and all this. So let's enjoy watching the Technical Difficulties podcast together.
This is the Technical Difficulties, and we've all been on adventures. None of us know what the others have been up to.
And normally with an intro, you'd expect me to say something as well, but you know what? There isn't an intro for this. Let's get to it.
Chris, it is your show and tell this time.
He just went with it.
Yeah, I did. I've learned to roll with this. I'm not going to try and get a professional intro out because you're all going to sabotage
This
it.
isn't his real life. He doesn't care.
He gets a name check. He gets a name check. What am I, f***ing chopped liver?
You wish.
I'm Gary.
Thank you. Don't ask for much. Just acknowledgement. That's it.
We'll just turn your camera off. Is it even recording?
Yeah.
Chris,
lad.
I'm gonna let this unfold.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. That's disgusting.
And it's staying in. So we're here in this basement because the latest thing on my list was getting dragged up. But more importantly, to learn more about where drag comes from, what drag is, what drag means to people, how it's evolved, all of that, because I'm a cis white guy and I'm part of the problem.
No one told me she's white and straight.
Mostly out of interest and partly because I think you as the audience are probably going to get a kick out of the glitter beard. We're here, so what do you need for a meeting?
I need you to shut the f up for a second.
Lovely.
This is the Tish Show.
Right.
I could have been a mannequin.
I'm going to be honest. I had Matt as the person on this table most likely to do drag for this show. I kind of...
Oh wait, is this copyright? Am I not allowed to show this? We've detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Can I not react to technical difficulties because it's copyright? Hold on. Come on, no way. That's annoying. You can't be serious. I just want to react to the I just want to like watch it and react to it. What do you mean copyrighted audio and video? Girl, please. Are you serious right now? It's the damn BBC. It's not BBC. This is on the internet. Man, that's stupid. Because he was like, okay, we're going to tuck and everything. I guess I just have to send you all to go watch this on your own time. That's fucking annoying. But it does mean that I am going to be able to stop being so sweaty soon. Yes, Tom Scott. What's up, Christy? Yeah. Man, that sucks. Oh, that's obnoxious. Whatever. Whatever. God damn it. Is this one of the reasons why people stream on Twitch? Because you can just like... Yeah, like you have a little bit more flexibility around the copyright shit on Twitch. I'm still not gonna stream on Twitch, TBH. I don't like Twitch. I like being on YouTube. Tom Scott's a good guy. Yeah, I love Tom Scott. I love watching his content. That's fucking annoying, though. Damn. Damn. Well, maybe we'll stay on stream long enough to get to 100 likes, and then I'll be allowed to get out of here. The other night I was watching Riverboat Jack, and she just straight up watched 4 episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Fair enough. You know, your stream may be temporarily blocked. What does that mean? Like, I don't know what temporary blocking means on YouTube. Lick and subscribe. Lick. Lick and subscribe. Delicious. Well, I guess that kills the end of my plan for the stream tonight. Rest in pieces. Smuggy. Blech. It looks like we're not getting to the flex stream goal today, which is fine. If you don't stop playing the copyright stuff, it can kill stream until you stop playing it. Does that mean like it'll stop airing my stream? Like it'll temporarily go unlisted? Because it's all like sometimes I have copyrighted stuff in the streams and it just gets claimed and demonetized, you know? Oh, gives people a this stream is unavailable splash. That's fucking stupid. God, I hate that so much. I don't even have super chats enabled. It's not like I'm making very much money on YouTube doing this. Whatever. Anyway, let's not bitch too much. If I want to do reactions to this kind of content, I'll have to do it on Twitch or on Discord or something. I guess we could watch this on Discord later, but that would require more organization and prep than I'm willing to get into. TBH. CBC? Oh, yeah. CBC stuff. Oh well, we were gonna have fun, but now we're not. No fun allowed. YouTube says no fun allowed. If it's already demonetized, worth seeing if this is copyrighted anyway. Yeah, I don't know. What even is this? It's just a video from, I don't know what, from Canada? Catholic School Board votes against flying the pride flag. Why are we seeing if this counts? Why would I need to watch CBC? No fun on YouTube since 2017. True. They're trying to cancel us. Yeah, so most of my streams get the yellow monetization button because I cuss throughout the fucking whole stream. I'm pretty sure that's why. I've stopped appealing. I'm not even gonna bother to appeal. I'm just, like, gonna assume that my streams will get the yellow monetization. Oh well. Oh well. Dang. Alright, well, let me get this out of my screen. I don't need to be watching this anymore. Boo. 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 YouTube do be canceling us. It's just not, it's not kosher, y'all. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Well, I guess we've been going for about 3.5 hours. That's usually the typical length of a Luxander stream. Sometimes we go for like 5 hours, but I would kind of like to not be wearing so many layers of clothing right now. So I'm gonna go be naked somewhere else and maybe make some lunch and stuff, and I'll see you all on Tuesday. We are going to be doing a little bit of a crossover segment with Surus. Surus has asked me to come on to talk about what we mean when we say trans rights. So we're gonna meet with Surus on Tuesday, and then hypothetically I'll see you on Thursday, and then I'm taking off on Sunday next weekend. So you will not see me on Sunday next weekend. If you're one of our British or European people who only sees us on Sunday, I apologize. Surus is cool. Check out his content if you want to. I mean, he's a lefty, he's an atheist, has a couple of non-binary partners, I believe. So, yep, we're gonna get out of here, and yeah, don't get in trouble.